All right, we got the Arceus, Arcdur versus Lost Gudra. Bro, I haven't seen Gudra in a little while, bro. For good reason, but let's see what the Goo player can bring. They have an insanely good hand. The Goo double battle VIP pass and a nest ball. I would just rip a battle VIP pass there. I mean, nest ball is like the same thing. You actually might. I actually would have started with battle VIP pass there because actually I think it's possible that you end up holding the nest ball. I think holding nest ball there wouldn't have been crazy. Why also why the Alakazam shouldn't be on the bench. I don't know why they benched Alakazam. They got a little bit ahead of themselves there now. And actually that's really big for the Gudra player because the Gudra player can now actually go Gudra can now go the 1-2-3 prize trade. KO Arceus, KO Duraludon, KO the Alakazam. And you want to set up Duraludon in this matchup because it allows you to go 2-hit KO on the Gudra. Otherwise Arceus 3-hit KOs Gudra. So you want to bench that as well. And you also just don't want to bench like Umbreons or anything like that because Umbreon only has 200 HP, which Gudra 1-hit KOs. So yeah, the Alakazam bench there is actually pretty bad. You want to go like Arc double Duraludon and then force the Arc on them as much as possible to make them KO that first or waste attacks on it. What? Greninja before the battle punished. Drew this. Well, they drew Spiritomb. They're never putting Spiritomb in play here. They definitely should have used the. They have 2 battle VIP passes in hand. Use those first for sure. Yeah, we want to increase our odds of drawing. They didn't get punished there. They actually didn't get punished there because you're never getting Spiritomb off of this battle VIP pass. But they should definitely play both battle VIP passes. Get Gudras, get Comfies, get down double Goo, even triple Goo. I could see grabbing triple Goo in this situation, to be honest, with how good your start is. So they should go back in with battle VIP pass again here. Go grab Gudra, and then they should go grab Gudra here. At least one more Gudra. They might have a Gudra in hand, so maybe you just get like a Cram. Cram is a good attacker here, actually, off the rip. But you don't really want to put. See, this is why you could have like used both battle VIP. I was about to pause it. This is why you want to use double battle VIP pass first. And you could keep the nest ball, and the nest ball could become Cram or something else. All right, there's the Colress. They should definitely, yeah, they could like thin out the deck by a lot before doing this though. Oh, they got Escape Rope and the nest ball. Oh no, they have battle VIP pass on hand, so they can go Escape Rope. They should get Escape Rope, Energy, Escape Rope, Choice Belt, Energy, Escape Rope, Choice Belt. And then battle VIP pass for Cram and Gudra, and then Cram Punch the Arceus. You don't really want to put Cram in play though to clog up your bench if you're not going to actually use it though, because then you have 4 1 prizes in play, and then it's possible the Arc player can KO 4 1 prize Pokemon and only 1 Gudra, because they do play a lot of Gust effects. So they should get Escape. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Yo, they're listening. Let's go. So now we should see the battle VIP pass for Gudra and Cram, because you may as well thin out the 3rd Gudra if you added the deck. I think, well, the Cram actually is prized. All right, never mind. We're not cramming. You would hate to see them make them. So you should get another Comfy here and go to a 3rd Comfy, I think. I think you should run to another Comfy here. Now you kind of want to use a switch. They should have grabbed another Comfy there, yeah. I think they should have used another Comfy there. You do put the 4 1 prizers in play, but I think that's fine. Shouldn't you always VIPA first? Pretty much always. Not always, because sometimes you aren't sure. They also probably shouldn't attach that energy, to be honest, because right now they need the draw power from the Greninja on the next turn. You shouldn't actually always use VIP pass first, because it's like if you're not sure if you're going to end up using Cram versus like Dragonite, then maybe you want to hold on to that to have the option, because you don't want to put Dragonite in play and then not attack with it and maybe regret having to play afterwards. So like sometimes there's a little bit of a, yeah, you don't always just want to do that. They definitely should have got another Comfy there and used that 3rd Comfy. Well, they didn't want to use the Escape Rope, I guess. They didn't want to use the Escape Rope to give the Arceus player more outs. To be honest, I don't hate holding the Escape Rope there. Actually, I think holding the Escape Rope is fine, but you should have hold off. Yeah, you should use. Yeah. They should have used double battle VIP pass and then held the nest ball. Yes, they should. That's what they should have done. But actually, once they realized Cram was prized, they probably should have just thrown down triple Comfy, double Gudra immediately with to search out everything, just to increase their odds of finding Colress and like better cards in general. So they should have done that a little bit differently, just on that. On the Dur side, like I said, the Alakazam bench was bad. Maybe they benched it though to play around Escape Rope plus Cram. Maybe that was their thought process. I still think it is bad to have benched the Alakazam. If you're going to put an Umbreon down, this is the turn to do it. I actually kind of like the Umbreon bench here because it allows you to potentially aggressively chase a Gudra next turn. You also kind of want to get your Dura Vs down though before the possibility of Choice Belt Boss allows them to chase a Dura, because double Dura is what you want to aim for here. Double Dura might not be possible though, because they already attached a fighting. They already attach a fighting to an Arceus. Generally, this deck only plays 2 fighting energy. They do play Raihan usually as well. Well, sometimes they play the Raihan. Raihan's not always in the deck. To be honest, the more I play Arceus decks, the more I think Raihan is just cope. I think Raihan is actually just bad in Arceus decks. So they're going for the switch, and you just want to go with the switch here because you're going to save the escape rope to like push up something else off the bench, or like push a Guja to the bench and bring it back to the active and KO him. I guess I don't hate the Alakazam bench. I still don't think I like it though. You had a dream I won worlds with United Wings. Trust me, bro. To be honest, I don't think Lost Box is in that great of a spot in the meta right now. So maybe it is the move. Dude, I want to see them try and attempt to play this boss. I don't know why they got the boss, to be honest. Did they get boss off Starbirth? I think they did. That's definitely a mistake. There's no reason you don't need boss here. They also had a different energy in hand, so they maybe didn't have to attach the fighting to the active here. But it might have been a metal, so maybe it doesn't matter. They do have second fighting in the deck. If they play triple fighting, then they should definitely try to set up 2 Duras. I do like the Umbreon grab here though, because this allows you to next turn go Umbreon plus Dura VMAX, Umbreon VMAX, Dura VMAX, knock out a Guja V off the bench. So I do like that. They have it looks like they had a metal in hand anyways. Usually, like, if they're playing like Ian's list, and most lists I think play the double fighting 4 metal 4 dark. Although I think one of the darks should be cut for a metal or a fighting, so you can actually set up double Dura, because double Dura is like really good in a couple matchups. So I think the option of setting up double Dura is definitely worth it at the expense of not being able to consistently set up Umbreon. I also don't think Duraludon's that good in the meta in general. I think Arc Umbreon is really good. I don't think you need the Dur, and that's actually a deck I want to work on. Not today, but maybe tomorrow. Just like Arc Umbreon, and then from there I actually don't know what I want to play it with, but I definitely want to play Arceus and Umbreon, and then something. I don't know what though. Second Discovery could be a nice grab instead of boss. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So yeah, because you just want to be able to KO Guja V off the bench. That's your goal here, is KO Guja V. Like the K-Tron list? Yeah, something like the K-Tron list. I don't know about like the Pikachu, but like something. Like I think Arc Umbreon is the core, and then what you add to it after that is the question. What do you play past that? I'm not sure, to be honest. Where do you see the rod coming out? Artisan. Oh, did they prize double Comfey? Is that why they didn't battle VIP pass for another Comfey last turn? I think they prized double Comfey. No memes. That's why they didn't get another Comfey off the battle VIP pass. I only noticed that the Cram was prized, but I think there was also another Comfey prize. All right, escape rope here. You do have to send up the Alakazam here, I think. You do push up the Zam. This is a little bit awkward, though, in general. Because... And... Yeah, this is a little bit awkward. Because the way you move... You can't move your Pokemon around very aggressively in the Arceus deck. You only play, like, 2 switch cards. You play 2 switch cards and 4 double turbo. So the double turbo is the card that they're going to be looking for here. They're looking for, like, double turbo retreat, but... There's a vac. Get rid of their own Artisan. Seems fine. I mean, you want to burn the vac here, build it up. I think they might be at 7 now. They don't have the V-Star, though. They can set up the Guja V, but they actually can't take a knockout with it. And you don't really want to put it in the active, because then Duraludon's kind of a threat, I guess. So I do like this play, actually. The Greninja play. This is cool. I like this. You can Greninja, you can snipe the Arceus to put it in range. Ooh, double, though? I think they're trying to not play the escape rope here, though. They do play 4, though, it looks like, so it's not that bad. Because they have an escape rope in hand? Oh. They have an escape rope in hand, but you shouldn't play the escape rope here. You should definitely hard retreat your Comfey. Extra energy on the Guja is, like, okay, but I don't think you want to move the Alakazam for the Arceus player, which I think is what's about to happen here. Yeah, I don't like this escape rope, because then you just push Arceus. You also fully telegraphed your play. There's also a mistake here from the Guja player. Now, I don't think it matters too much in this situation, but they fully telegraphed their play before playing the escape rope. What you should do first is play the escape rope, and then maybe your opponent misplays, or they don't quite know what you're doing. But they fully telegraphed their play and then played the escape rope, which is, like, not correct. I don't know if that damage on Duraludon matters, because even with a choice belt, you're still whiffing the knockout with the Guja, right? I feel like this 90 damage actually should have gone onto the Umbreon. So that means with a choice belt, Guja actually KOs Umbreon, or a Cram can actually boss KO Umbreon as well if the Umbreon doesn't evolve anytime soon. I'm trying to think if you ever want the damage on the Alakazam. I don't think so. Yeah, I think the damage should have been put in play differently here. I think it should have been 90 to Umbreon. I think so. There's the Duraludon VMAX. Did they top deck that VMAX? I think they did. And they attach back to the Arceus, which I don't like. They should attach that to the Umbreon. Like, they should just go to set up the Umbreon here. The boss is coming in clutch here, but they didn't have the VMAX in hand before. They definitely top decked that VMAX, right? I'm pretty sure they did. The energy on the Arceus I don't really like. I think it should be on the Umbreon. Ideally, it goes to another Arceus, I think. Ideally, you attach to a different Arceus here, but there's no other Arceus to attach to, so. Iono from the Goodra player. We finally see the Goodra. But yeah, this 90 damage on the Duraludon feels irrelevant. I don't think this is... Because you're going to hit for 200 and... You hit for what, 220? So you're just 20 damage. You're 20 damage short of it being relevant. They played Iono and then they immediately went... Ooh, they actually have lost on 2 V-Stars here. They should have definitely played the Mirage Gate first. Well, I guess they had cards on the bottom of the deck they maybe didn't want to see. They're trying to find just switch cards here. I don't think they have a way to move this. Also, depending on their hand, they probably should have sent up Greninja over the Comfey, to be honest. If I tried slacking an Arceus? No. Oh, no, they have the switch. Okay, we're attacking here. All right, so we got the attack with Goodra off here finally, which is nice. But like I said on that last one, they shouldn't have escape roped. They shouldn't have given them the free Alakazam move there. That was like a big deal in this matchup to have like played around that. Because then it made the play for the Arceus player so easy. Like, all right, here comes the punch. We're looking at what, 2? Oh, is that a Defiance ban? Oh, it's 230. I like this one has 10 HP left, but that's still just another Goodra attack. I guess you can KO it with I don't think Arc had any way to retreat Alakazam. Yeah, that's what I'm saying exactly. They would have had to play Judge and then hope to draw into a double turbo or an escape rope themselves. Adventures Discovery. Well, now we're just gonna see an Umbreon chain here probably. They're gonna Umbreon VMAX. Yeah, they're gonna grab all their Umbreons. And they're gonna go KO the Goodra V off the bench with Umbreon, and then they're gonna go use the second Umbreon to KO a 1 prize off the bench with Arceus. So we need to see another Iono here come out for the Goodra player, I think. They do, and they have the energy in hand as well, so they can attach to the Arceus, and the Arceus is ready to go. They should like thin out as many cards as possible here. I think they have a choice belt in hand, so they should attach that. Yep. And then Umbreon. I think game one's gonna definitely go to the Arceus player here. It's looking pretty bad. But if we see an Iono here, it's possible, to be honest. If we see actually, to be honest, it's not that far off for the Goodra player. If they have Iono here, I think they do actually. If they Iono here and KO the active, then boss KO Arceus. Well, no. The Arceus can punch the Goodra for a turn and set up the Umbreon again. So yeah, it's still looking pretty good for the Arceus player. As long as there's basic energy in deck, which I think there is because there's no dark energy in play right now, the Arceus should easily be able to set up an Umbreon here. Yeah, the Arceus should easily be able to set up an Umbreon here. Ooh, they got a Path as well, actually. Oh, what? They got Path in here as well? Bro, they're cooking. Yo, the Goodra comeback might be happening because Path shuts down Umbreon, so that severely limits the amount of outs that the... Yeah, that severely limits the number of outs that the Arc player actually has. But then you lose access to your ability. But maybe... Maybe you wait 1 turn for the Path here, actually. Actually, I think you should wait 1 turn. Oh, what the fuck, bro? All right, whatever. I think you should have waited for the Path 1 turn here from Josh. Yeah, Josh did prize double Comfey and the Cram. Josh should have waited a turn for the Path here. Sure, you could lose to an Umbreon, but it's actually really hard. It's not that hard. Yeah, because you need to be able to use your ability there as the Goodra player as well at some point in this game, I feel like. So you should have waited 1 turn, hope they don't have access to Umbreon, and then put Path in play next turn. So you get to use your ability first. And that gives you enough time to win the game with Goodra, that one Goodra at that point, I think. But I think you needed to heal it once. Because Scarlet couldn't actually use Ultra Ball. Because you Iono'd them down to 1 there. Because Scarlet got Iono'd to 1. They couldn't use Ultra Ball. So it's not like they could Ultra Ball for Umbreon there. So you have to hope there's no Ultra Ball, or you have to hope there's no Raw Boss, which there was, or no Draw Supporter into Ultra Ball, and then next turn you heal your Goodra and then put Path in play. Maybe it works out either way though. Well, let me do the math real fast. So you knock out with Goodra, you draw 3 prize cards. They bring up Arceus, they punch you for 130 damage, and then they set up their Umbreon, and then Umbreon only hits you for 80. Yeah, maybe putting Path in play was fine. When I actually do the math there, actually, you still have enough turns because then you go KO the Arceus, boss KO Alakazam. But it would allow you to KO through the active instead of having boss Alakazam. So I think it depends on what the resources were left for Josh were, and if they had like boss in hand. Because if you have boss in hand, you just go KO. Also, you want to have the threat of boss KO on the Arceus in case they don't send it up and like pass for a turn. That doesn't... Yeah, I don't know if you should. Maybe you shouldn't play Path there, to be honest. You maybe don't play. Maybe you do play Path. I'm sorry. Maybe you don't need your V-Star power to win, to be honest. Also, I think Josh also could have just not benched that other V, right? They could just not bench the other V. Yeah. Arceus would have done 150. Oh, you're right. It would have done 150. Yeah, but that doesn't really matter. 150 into 80 is still not knocking you out. What? The Comfy pass, bro? All right, Josh is kind of getting cooked here. Comfy pass. There's Arc pass or Arc attach. Has Ultra Ball next turn. I think you just pass here. I don't think there's any reason to do anything. You don't want to play Ultra Ball here. Also, you should not bench Alakazam. Alakazam lets him go 1, 2, 3. Do not bench the Alakazam. There we go. Just passes. Comfy top deck for Josh. A little bit late. Has an Iono in hand as well. I think it's Chorusing Goodra. I think going for the Goodra is fine here, though. Oh, wait, is Goodra... Well, Goodra with Jet Energy sounds kind of sick. Isn't that just as sick as... I think you go with the Goodra and play the Iono, probably, to be honest. Oh, no, it's a switch card. You always take the Goodra, then. I thought it was a Chorus. Josh punching the camera, it looks like. I think that's what happened there. I think you should definitely go for the Goodra. I don't know why Josh is stressing over Switch and Goodra here. You always take the Goodra. We're gonna get a little bit of a different angle here now. Jet to the active. I guess you still dig for Chorus first, but then playing Iono is like not the end of the world. Bench Goodra. Maybe bench the Cram. I'm not sure. Yeah, bench Goodra. Maybe bench Cram. Nope, you can't do that. You just attach Jet. Someone catch that. No one's noticing because they're no one's noticing because they're worried about the camera. I understand how like Josh doesn't notice that themselves either, because it's not like they attach the Jet, but it doesn't feel like they attach the energy, you know? Yeah, Josh just caught it. Yeah, it should just go to the bottom of the deck. Yeah, Scarlet agrees. Just put it to the bottom. Cool. Ooh, they got the Path here though. They should throw out Path here to try and slow down the Archie, to slow down the Starbirth. Fortunately, it's not going to slow down Scarlet at all because there is an Ultra Ball and a Double Turbo in hand. But I like the aggressive Path here to potentially stop the Starbirth for the play. Have you tried Cramorant and United Wings? Should I have? Does that do anything? There's a Double Turbo, there's an Ultra Ball. They actually get rid of the Umbreon. That's interesting that they got rid of Umbreon here. I'm actually not sure about that. Like I said, Umbreon lets you be aggressive and chase the Goodra V's down. You do want to get to... Well, I don't know what the rest of the hand... The rest of the hand is like Boss and... Yeah, what was the... Oh, it was a Duraludon VMAX and a Boss. I think I put a little bit more value on the Umbreon there, to be honest, because Umbreon becomes basically a Gust... Usually you're losing a Gust effect no matter what, but Umbreon is an aggressive Gust effect, whereas Boss is still a Gust effect that can be aggressive, allow you to aggressively take knockouts off the bench, but you can't like Iono into the Gust effect or something like that. I guess there is the Path in play currently, which does slow that down, but I think I like actually benching the Umbreon there and then discarding the Boss. You definitely want to keep the Duraludon VMAX, of course, but... And there's an S-Ball and the Ultra Ball. So Duraludon is on the way. The Ultra Ball might be to get... But see, actually, with that hand, if Scarlet had benched Umbreon, this turn, Scarlet could have gone... Or next turn, Scarlet could go replace the Stadium, Luminion for Adventurer's Discovery for Duraludon, Umbreon, and Arceus, and then Gust up KO Goodra V off the bench. But now, no Umbreon down, so won't have the access to that play. But that's like the versatility that you get when you bench the Umbreon, is you get that like option, you know, to potentially make that play happen. But now you don't. You're like kind of you're confined to just like the Boss. Wait, what is happening? Is there an energy in hand? We should just load up the Duraludon. The Duraludon should 100% just be loaded up here. This is actually not a good play. No, there's not even the energy in hand. Yeah, we should definitely just be loading up Duraludon V here. I guess like this allows it so that way if Josh has like Boss your Arceus, it's a little bit easier to retreat, but I don't think that's something we're really playing in fear of, to be honest. You just want the option of the unaggressive Duraludon play, I think, here for sure. Switch into Greninja and I mean, nothing aggressive is happening over here, I guess, but There goes Arceus. Oh wait, still has Starbirth actually. So Starbirth can literally happen here. I forgot that Starbirth was available. But you could have got Ionoed and lost your stadium and not have access to Starbirth. Yeah, I think all the energy should have been loaded on Duraludon V, to be honest. I think it should all have been loaded on Duraludon V. Just get that thing ready to swing. Actually, maybe playing a little, but you have Lost City plus Starburst still. So if they do go boss your Arceus, you still just have Starbirth guaranteed. So there should be a knockout on a Goodra here, I'm pretty sure. Starbirth is happening. We should see Duraludon. No, we should just see Boss plus Metal Energy, and then Ultra Ball for Duraludon VMAX. We'll see what route they end up going, but they definitely just go after the Goodra V here. I feel like is the play to go with. I think they see that play there as well. Yeah, here comes the Ultra Ball. Get rid of Arceus V and V Star. I would say once again, keep the Umbreon. You want the aggressive option. Yeah, I thought they were gonna do it backwards, but they're good. Yeah, now Ultra Ball. Yeah, and then bench the Umbreon. Get the aggressive Gust option on the board. Like I was talking about with benching the Umbreon last turn. So this, I mean, if Josh conceded here, I think it's pretty reasonable to be honest at this point. It's looking pretty bad. It's looking pretty bad here for Josh. I wouldn't blame Josh for conceding here. The Lost City will help them build up their Lost Zone at the very least. I guess they got that going for them. There's the knockout. Down to 3 with no real threat in play from Josh. We do get access to concealed cards now. Now that the path is gone, we at least have that. They can Raihan here. If they have an Iono left, the comeback is always possible. We're looking at 5 in the Lost Zone. I can't tell what those cards are. We need to get a Goodra V here, though. They got a Goodra V. So they can Raihan to the Goodra V. They don't quite have 7 in the Lost Zone, though. Actually, to be honest, I think they should have Raihan to the active. I think they're grabbing a Colress, but a Colress is like too slow here, I feel like. Maybe it's not. They could have Raihan to the active and got a Comfey, I guess. Yeah, even they're feeling like Colress doesn't really do anything. But they're going with the Colress here. I guess that's probably fine, to be honest. They could have Raihan to active and got a Comfey, though, and retreat to Comfey, then use that Comfey, get to 6 in the Lost Zone, and play the Mirage Gate. It doesn't have release of them actually attacking on the turn. But it means you could Iono next turn. Nah, maybe this is fine, actually, to be honest. Yeah, this is probably fine. If you can Mirage Gate here, I think you should, but I think we're at 6, right? Yeah, because even if they have the boss here, it's just like whatever. Like if they have the boss here, no matter what you lose, so you may as well just Mirage Gate to the Goodra, thin out the deck in case they judge or Iono you, then you have less junk in your deck and you're more set up. Because if this thing ever gets gusted, the game is over anyway, so. And we'll see if they can get it here. They're using the Iono, looking for that Umbreon. If they get the Umbreon, the game's over. All right, no Umbreon. We're living here. But now Josh doesn't... See, this is what I was talking about with getting the extra card in the Lost Zone. Like, if this happens, then you're set up and all you need is a Goodra V-Star. And at least you have another Comfey in play. But now, it's literally just over. I think you can play the Escape Rope here as Josh. Escape Rope happens. You have Escape Rope of your... Oh, yeah. You have your own Escape Rope here as Scar, though. Scar's just going to Escape Rope back and then KO the Goodra off the bench. Oh, wait, there's 7? Oh, because of the Lost City. That's right. The Lost City did make it go to 7. So we can actually attack here with the Greninja. I guess I don't hate the... I actually don't like the Arceus send up there from Scarlet, because you could be giving up 2 free prize cards. If Josh has... Yeah, if Josh has Choice Belt, Goodra V-Star, you just give up 2 prize cards. So I don't really like that. I keep forgetting about I forgot about the Lost City there, building up the Lost Zone. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that send up there from Scarlet. You should just push up your Arceus V-Star. You don't want to give up free prize cards, because then they punch the Arceus V-Star and you retreat it, and now they have to chase it again to get the prize cards. So I would also play this last Mirage Gate. If there's a water energy in the deck, you should just play the last Mirage Gate. And just because you want to increase your odds of top decking. Oh, there's a Box of Disaster. I put the box of Disaster on the Greninja, actually. You could put the Box of Disaster on the Greninja. You could have actually put the Box of Disaster on the Greninja and then hit the Duraludon and hit the bench Arceus V-Star, Choice Belt to the bench, play the last Mirage Gate if there's a water in the deck to accelerate out of the deck. I don't know if there was or wasn't. And then if the Duraludon comes up and punches... If the Duraludon comes up and punches and KOs the Greninja, they take 80 back from the Disaster Box of Disaster, and then you can actually one-hit KO it with the Goodra at that point. And it's possible that Scarlet can only attack with Duraludon next turn because the Arceus on the bench can't attack. The Arceus in the active is a V, so even if you have a double turbo on it, you maybe only hit for 110, which doesn't want to KO the Greninja. So Duraludon's the only thing that can definitely attack as long as the active can retreat. And even if they have a double turbo to retreat the active, they need a V-Star to actually be able to attack with it without attacking with the V, which maybe they miss that even if they get the double turbo. And your Greninja survives the turn, which maybe you top deck an energy and that gets you out of that. But if not, and they do attack with Duraludon, then you can actually KO it back. Isn't Box only V? Oh wait, Box has to be on a V Pokemon? All right, never mind. Dude, actually Box of Disaster would be broken if it wasn't only V Pokemon. Yeah, don't mind my rant there. But no, yeah, don't mind my rant there then, I guess. But the choice spell still should have been saved for the Gudra. Yeah. You want to cast for Limitless but don't even know what Box of Disasters does? Yeah, don't mind me. Yo, it's the Regidrago versus Mew though, and Mew's going first, so it's gonna be a tough. Looks like a pretty good hand for the Mew player as well. It's gonna be a tough one actually here for the Regidrago. The matchup was already tough to begin with, I feel like. But yeah, going second against Mew is not good for something like a Regidrago deck usually. But we'll see what else they got. Maybe they got Spiritomb. Maybe they got something like a, I don't know, Drapion or something. They could have something like that to give themselves a little bit of an edge here. I feel like most people are cutting those cards, and that's why Mew's actually being able to do well in general in the game right now. But we'll see. Maybe they play an answer for the Mew deck. Oh, a little prize checking going on. Maybe taking some notes. Love to see it. Trekking shoes. Dude, I've been seeing a lot of Mews playing the trekking shoes, whether they're fusion or non-fusion. I've been seeing trekking shoes pop up a lot in Mew decks recently. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't know. Isn't there? Couldn't you just play more? I don't know. I feel like playing cards that do things usually feels better. But all right, another Genesect. We got an Ultra Ball here. I think I would like to see the Ultra Ball get rid of. Ooh, I was gonna say get rid of the double turbo. Yeah, I actually don't like the way this is getting sequenced out here. So I think it's actually a mistake. You actually want to build up the option of heavy fusion energy in play, potentially leading to quad fusion. So I think it's actually a mistake here. They are now they're playing to prioritize the fusion energy a little bit. But they should have actually discarded the double turbo. What they should have done is discard the double turbo, I think, and then just attach the fusion. Especially once they realize they didn't prize any double turbo, there's still 2 double turbo in the deck. They should have played it that way. So now they're going to draw 1 with Genesect and then Ultra Ball away that card plus the Vacuum probably. But what I would have liked to have seen is Ultra Ball away the Vacuum and the double turbo, get a Mew, get a Genesect, attach a fusion energy to one of the Mews, and then Genesect for 5 from there. I think that's like the smoother way to play it out. Maybe you want to prioritize holding the Vacuum as well though if you think they play Path to the Peak. But if you're going to draw that many cards on your first turn, you should be able to find out to the Path to the Peak. Or maybe you're getting Iono'd anyway, so who knows, right? So yeah, and you want to just build up the fusion and see now there's so you can attach the Forest Seal Stone and then vacuum it away, or you could just use it and get a VIP pass, get 2 more Pokemon, and then hold the Vacuum if you're hold the Vacuum and the Ultra Ball, especially if you're scared of Path to the Peak. So I think from this point on, I would just use the Forest Seal Stone. They're going for the 1 draw though. Yeah, I think I would have just gone for the Forest Seal Stone for VIP pass and build from there. Save the Vacuum, save the Ultra Ball. I think Regidrago. I think it'd be fair to assume Regidrago decks most of the time do have Path, because it's usually like Regidrago Arceus, which usually has Path. So I think that could have been played a little bit differently here from Anthony. Off the rip though, like I said, off the rip, we should just like been ditching the double turbo and get the fusion energy in play, because like the threat of quad fusion, because they're playing Regidrago, which means they play Gudra. But yeah, once they get to the evolution, like being able to hit for that 280 damage with the quad fusion to KO like Regidrago V-Stars and Arceus V-Stars, whatever it might be, is definitely beneficial. Okay, pretty good draw here though. Another Force Seal Stone, and they haven't used the Force Seal Stone yet. And they also have another Battle VIP pass. They should burn both Battle VIP passes here though. They should use both. Use one, fail it, use the other, get the Meloetta, pass. The problem with that though is they actually in the hand, well, they have Force Seal Stone. They fail, okay. And then like I said, grab Meloetta, so you have the option of the, if Meloetta's in there, yeah, it's in there. So yeah, grab Meloetta, and they still have access to Force Seal Stone. So even if a path comes down next turn, they'll be able to get out of the path of the Force Seal Stone use. So even though their hand has no draw power in it, and there we go again. Bro, how is this getting knocked? Yeah, who's knocking it, bro? And then, yeah, we should be good to go. Yeah, this is fine. We have 4 assists on the get out path. I think it was a pretty sloppy sequencing here from Anthony, but it's fine. We're cruising. We have a good idea of what we're trying to do. Got a good decent game plan figured out. Did preserve the fusion energy. I like that. Would like to have seen it in play, like I mentioned, and then get some Mellow in play. I like the way the bench ended up getting set up there. So, and then we'll see what's actually gonna happen with this Regidrago deck. Oh, there's a retreat, of course, as well. Retreat to the Drago. Oh, they are. I think I saw Curly in there. They definitely has Curly and Ralts. I think they're probably just playing something similar to what the junior played then, who won at NAIC. So heads. So it is Arc. It's Curlia, Arceus, Regidrago. If they have anything else spicy in there. I didn't really take a good hard look at the juniors list, so I'm not quite sure. I'm not 100% sure what they got cooking in there, but I mean, I know they have the Curlia for Drawing. I think there's the Gallade in there as well. I think there's a Gallade. So off this, we'll probably see a grab of one of the Regidrago pieces to get rid of. That's the hardest thing to like find and get in the discard pile is the Gudra or whatever the attacks you want to use through the Regidrago is the hardest thing to find and then get in the discard pile. I'm pretty sure that Junior did play Spiritomb. So there might be Spiritomb in this list as well, which pretty good against. And also, if Anthony maybe knows about Spiritomb, then it probably would have been pretty good to attach the Fusion Energy turn 1 to a Genesect, actually, to just get that set up ahead of time. Yeah, I think it would have been good to do that. That's a Regidrago V-Star. I can't tell what that is. It's Rainbow. I think it's a Regidrago V-Star. I shouldn't be because they're Ultra Ball in it, so it's not. I don't know what it is, though. Maybe someone in chat knows. They play a Squawk for turn 1 as well. Billy. There's the Arceus grab. Gudra V-Star? Okay, Gudra V-Star. Thinking about the Arceus. Actually, not taking Arceus for sure. Wonder what else they would grab here if they're not going to grab Arceus. Attach. Ooh, attach switch. Was it just attach switch Trinity Charge? I think it is. That is not a very good turn. Not gonna lie. They do have the Gudra in the discard pile. Yeah, they had like a draw supporter to back that up. They would have actually been in a pretty good spot. Yeah, I don't know. Man, I don't know what you do from here, to be honest. As Anthony, like, you probably should KO Arceus, so you take away the Starbirth option. But then if they do have, I mean, if they have the V-Star and hit you with Gudra but don't have anything else, I guess that's like fine, to be honest. I actually don't like mind this play from Chris either, even if Chris had a different thing to Ultra Ball for. Like, this play is generally really, really powerful. And yeah, I actually don't mind this play from Chris, even if Chris had another play to make. Like, could have gone with like a Squawkabilly or Illuminate or something. I actually don't mind this specifically. There's an escape rope in the hand here for Anthony. That fusion energy should definitely be put on the Mew and not on the Meloetta, because you want to like protect your fusion energy. But like, now Chris can like go KO the Meloetta plus remove the fusion energy from play. But if you have it on the Mew, or like if you attack with Meloetta, they can just knock out Meloetta with an attack and then also remove the fusion energy. But if you attack with a Mew VMAX with fusion energy, you can't quite do that. The way Chris stacks their cards is so... I've never seen anyone do that. They like attach them under... Or not Chris, Anthony. I've never seen anyone do that. Like, you're building them down towards you. You don't build your Pokemon up. You build your Pokemon down. You're not building up their power level. You're building down their power level. I see escape rope in hand as well. So actually, you can't do that. So could it looks like they're choosing to go after the Arceus here. It looks like Anthony's choosing to go after the Arceus here because they have the escape rope but haven't played it. I'd probably just play the Cram here if I was them, to be honest. I would just cram away the Cram and go get a Sparkle if you get heads and play the Sparkle. You could also cram away the Switch here, to be honest, and hold the other Cram. But they probably should have crammed away the Cram as the first action they did out of the hand, to be honest, after their first draw. You appreciate the 25 months there, Tyler. Welcome back. Tails. And then last Genesect coming in. But yeah, I think the first action that should have been done immediately after they drew into the double Cram should have been just to play them. All right. Tablets for later. Yeah, just retreat and swing seems fine to me. Yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know if you should KO the Drago or the Arceus here. Both seem fine. Like, yeah, if you don't KO the Arceus here, then they get Starbirth. But like, if they have like the Drago Evolve plus a supporter here, that's way better than the Arceus. But like, they didn't play a supporter last time, so they probably don't have one. So it's probably correct to remove Starbirth as an option here. Question: do you still think Sky Sealstone and Guardy good idea, or just bad now with EX being played more? I think in the current meta, it's actually pretty good. Yeah, there's not that many EXs in the format, so that wouldn't be a reason to not do it. Yeah, there's really not that many EXs right now. I think Sky Sealstone's pretty solid right now. Current meta. That's Doom's Mat. Yeah, that is Doom's Mat on the left there. So they're doing... So the game's over. The Mew player does have Switch in hand, so they can just go Switch attack. So, game 1 here, going to Mew. Yeah, 30 damage coming in. Draw. We'll see if they slow roll him at all or not. Here's a Switch. Send up Mew, retreat, and then, yeah. Technoblast, knockout. Okay, game 1, pretty fast. Kind of unfortunate draw there for the Arceus player. Didn't have much to work with. I do think this matchup is tough. If they don't have a Drapion or a Spiritomb. If you got Drapion or Spiritomb, I think you have a solid shot. Definitely, you'd prefer to have Spiritomb over Drapion, but I'm not sure if they play either, to be honest. Pretty bad sequencing from the Mew player as well. Like I said, definitely could have had play a little bit more aggressively. There's quite a few things that could have been differently there, but does get the dub in the end. Yeah, I'll be curious to see if the Arceus player sets up a little bit better. If the Regidrago player, I should say, sets up a little bit better in this one. We'll probably see a Spiritomb, I would assume, if they play it. Hopefully. I don't mean to be mean. But both these players are so bad at shuffling, bro. It's like making me anxious. I don't know. It's like I'm not trying to be a dick, but it's irking me a little bit. It's all right. We'll get there eventually. We'll get there. They're getting there. They're getting there. They're probably newer players, you know. They're post-COVID players, like. It's funny. Looks like double mulligans here. Mulligan for Chris. I don't see a basic Pokemon in Anthony's hand, but they're putting the mulligan on. Oh, no, that is a Genesect. I thought that was a Mew VMAX. Biggest pet peeve you have about Pokemon players? People who think that pile shuffling randomizes their deck. That's probably number 1. But I guess like at an actual tournament, like, I mean, when someone pile shuffles in front of me, I don't know if they think that or if they just pile shuffle. A lot of people pile shuffle knowing it does not randomize their deck and they just choose to do it, which is fine. Like, as long as you're not doing it in between matches, I don't really care. Biggest pet peeve though, like if I'm at a tournament playing against people, like what is something that's a pet peeve? I don't know if I really have many, to be honest, if any. Yeah, I don't know if I do. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I can't come up with one like, yeah, that'd be like the one that comes to mind immediately. But I don't like at tournament, like playing against someone. I don't know something. There's anything that really irks me too much. All right, we got a better start here and going first for Chris Nest Ball, but this is Meloetta Mew. Turn 1 donks are a possibility. Turn 1 donks are a possibility. Sometimes when I mash shuffle certain sleeves, the edges of them catch. Does that mean it's time to replace them, or is there some way to avoid that? No, you should get a little bit better at, you need to not shuffle so tightly, so you're like squeezing the sides of the deck together, and just like let them kind of fall into each other a little bit more, and don't hold them so tightly. But sometimes they just catch. Like even when I shuffle, sometimes the edges of my sleeves catch. Sometimes that means you have a broken or almost broken sleeve though. So whenever my sleeves catch, it usually means there's a broken sleeve. So I'll check if there's a broken sleeve when my edges catch. But that means either there's like a split, there might be one of the sleeves might be split at the bottom, so it widens up a little bit, or it means there is one split. So just check for a broken sleeve whenever the edges catch. But oh, so there is the Spiritomb. All right, Spiritomb's out. This is definitely gonna make things a little bit harder for Anthony, but Anthony's hand actually is really, really close to getting off a turn 1 attack. I think Anthony is just like missing a modifier and a switch card, and Anthony actually can KO this Arceus. So if Chris just goes attach active pass, Anthony might be able to kind of snowball and roll over them with a quick Meloetta and then a follow-up. Like quickly just roll over them with a Meloetta here. We'll see. Also, the Spiritomb is the only Pokemon on the bench, so an escape rope here would actually could get the KO on that Spiritomb. I can't really tell how good the rest of the hand is here for Chris, to be honest. All right. Yeah, Anthony had a really good hand, but now it's not quite as good because of that Spiritomb. But besides, otherwise, the hand was actually really, really good, to be honest. I actually don't know if... I think you maybe want to go with Battle VIP Pass first here and Ultra Ball, because I think you're looking for different cards off these trekking shoes. This trekking shoes. I'm not sure. Maybe a basic's not too bad. Yeah, there's a Mew. An Ultra Ball away the Pal Pad and the Path to the Peak, probably. You might just be kind of giving up on... And to be honest, I don't know if Anthony is... How do you play this? I just don't know how to play this, to be honest. How do you play this? Like, getting the donk seems unlikely. Not impossible. It's basically impossible. No, it's not impossible. It's basically impossible. I don't think you're playing for the donk here. So I think you're just setting up to, like, take knockouts. Oh, they are lining up the Ice Cube, though. Could you pull that off this turn? Actually, no, because you still need a switch card. We can't Ice Cube quite yet, right? I don't think it's possible yet. If you have to have VIP, are you allowed to reveal 2 VIP at the same time to search for 4 cards? Yes, you can. You can't, if the actions wouldn't like give you more information to work with, then you can play multiple cards at the same time. Why so for Elsa and VIP for Jen and Meloetta, and then use Genesec's ability to switch for switch? I mean, they can still do that. You're just changing the order. They might do that. They're using VIP right now to get basics. Then they could use the Stone for Elsa. That probably is what they have to do. I think maybe what they're going to do here first, though, is... I don't think they're going to play for a turn 1, to be honest. I think you can just, like, set up normally from here, to be honest. We'll see what they do, though. You could just go, like... I don't know. I don't even know how much I like grabbing the Ice Cube here, but they're going for it. Before trekking. You could do that, but if you get Elsa Sparkle off trekking shoes, then the switch card can be gotten off the 4 Seal Stone. So you definitely use trekking shoes before 4 Seal Stone. You could make an argument for trekking shoes after Battle VIP Pass, though. But getting more basics in play also means if you get a basic off of trekking shoes, that means more cards off of your draws with the Genesect. So even then, that might be fine still, to be honest. All right, here comes the Ultra Ball. To be honest, keeping the path doesn't seem terrible. You could throw a path out there to stop Starbirth. Like, you could have a... Yeah, you could just, like, have played this out a little bit slower here from Anthony. Got some Genesects off the Battle VIP Pass. Attached the 4 Seal Stone and a Fusion Energy to one of them. Draw with it. Then maybe 4 Seal Stone for Elsa Sparkle. Put some more energies on your Genesects. Draw some more cards. End up with a Fusion Energy on your Mew. Or... Yeah, because you could still build up towards... Yeah, I don't know. We'll let them cook here and see what ends up happening. So there comes the... Well, they have to 4 Seal Stone now. Yeah. They have to 4 Seal Stone now, though, for the Sparkle. I don't know. They're shuffling now, but I think Chris is reminding him what's happening. Maybe Anthony... They're still shuffling. But they can't use Genesect, so they have to use 4 Seal Stone for Elsa Sparkle. Are they just gonna pass? Wait, does Anthony not know that you can do that? Anthony maybe doesn't know that you can use Genesect when they have a Fusion Energy on them under Spiritomb. Alright, let him cook. Let him cook. We'll see. Okay. Yeah, I think so I thought this is what Anthony was going for, was trying to get off a turn 1 Ice Cube attack onto the Spiritomb. We'll see where Anthony puts his energy. Okay, no, Anthony knows. I think Anthony was just like didn't calculate. Like, Anthony was thinking something and then didn't calculate that they can't use Genesect. Like, Anthony thought they were going to be using Genesect after that shuffle and then realized, oh wait, yeah, you're right, Spiritomb's in play. And I kind of thought about that for a long time, but they came to the right conclusion. Okay, I got to use the Sparkle. But see, this makes the attachment to Ice Cube and the prioritization of Ice Cube incorrect, because instead what we should have seen here from Anthony is another Genesect on the bench instead of a Mew, or instead of the Ice Cube, and then you attach to one Genesect to draw some cards, and then you Sparkle to the other Genesect plus another Genesect on the bench, and then you just attack with, or then you just like then you just draw a bunch of cards, and you plan to attack next turn with Mew somehow, but still can't attack. Yeah, still can't. There's no attack happening this turn. The attack's not going to happen this turn. But that's how Anthony should have played it from the beginning. That's why Ice Cube shouldn't even be on the bench, because you never planned to attack this turn as Anthony. You just needed to set up Genesect with Fusion Energy, and then build up to more options on your following turn, and then, I don't know, depending on how the game plays out from there, you figure out what you need to do. But yeah, this initial setup from here from Anthony is... But that's because in Anthony's mind, they were thinking about using Genesect to draw cards, so that's why they set it up the way they did. But it's funny, because they initially went after Ice Cube to have the option to KO Spiritomb, but you can't use Genesect under Spiritomb. So I think it one way and then played another, and yeah, and here we are. I should probably cram that, yeah. That's why I didn't hate the idea of Anthony... So I didn't hate the idea of Anthony holding on to the Path to the Peak to try and shut down Starbirth. Yeah, I think Anthony should have held onto the Path to the Peak to shut down Starbirth, potentially. Not if you like go through your Genesect draws and then put Path in play, as long as you have an out to it yourself. And then maybe that slows down Chris enough that you can get that knockout on the Arceus before it gets to actually use like Trinity Nova, or you. I guess you always get to use Trinity Charge probably, but you stop maybe a Trinity Nova from happening or something like that. How do you use Genesect's ability now? Well, you can't use the third ones. But you can use Genesect's ability if you have a Fusion Energy on it. Okay, I think you just pass from here as Anthony. You have a cram, but I don't know what you'd actually cram for, to be honest. I think you just pass. There is an escape rope in the hand. I don't hate escape rope to force the Spiritomb into the active to make Chris have to find a switch card to move it, like one more piece that they need. So that might hurt their Starbirth and their overall power of their turn. But what are you going to leave in your active? Because you kind of want to leave the Genesect in the active. I don't know if Chris plays Choice Belt or not, but if they don't play Choice Belt, they actually can't want to KO a Genesect. But now if you leave a Mew in the active... Oh, they're going with the other Genesect setup. Okay, I like this. I like this, yeah. Seems fine. You go first or second with Arctina? First, always first. Is the Spiritomb worth teching if they can use Fusion Energy? Yes. Them going out of their way to put Fusion Energy on their Genesects is awful. Like, no one... They don't want to do that. Like, going out of your way to have to put Fusion Energy on your Genesects to be able to draw cards. You don't get to turn one Meloetta pretty much ever going second, which is the power of the deck. And then you have to, like, open Fusion Energy and Sparkle to even play the game if you go second. And if you go first, even if you go first, you still have to like prioritize getting Fusion Energies on Genesects as opposed to like playing the game more aggressively and just boss KOing Arceuses and stuff. Yeah, Spiritomb actually does a lot. Like, it does a lot. Like, and then you can even go boss KO the Genesects that have the Fusion Energy on them once they get the energy, and then you remove that as draw power from play. Like, Mew's power is the amount of cards it sees every turn. That's why Mew's like been good for so long. It's because you get to do any game plan you want to do that the deck has available to it every single turn. All right, we got the Starbirth coming in. Need a double turbo, need a switch card. Would ideally like a Choice Belt as well, so you actually KO this Genesect, but pulling off the Trinity Nova is more important for sure. We might not be able to see everything happen here. We'll see. Oh, there's the Starbirth. So that was a heavy ball or a nest ball, some ball. Double turb. To be honest, if you have the Choice Belt here, then I would go with Escape Rope. Getting a KO off a Mew or even the Ice Cube to get prize cards and remove a Fusion Energy from play is great. Or if you have a Choice Belt, if Anthony sends up a different Genesect, then you can KO that Genesect and remove a Fusion Energy Genesect from play as well. So playing Escape Rope here is always better than playing Switch as long as you have a Choice Belt. But even if you don't have a Choice Belt, you could make them think you have a Choice Belt, and then maybe they send up the Ice Cube or the Mew because they don't want to lose one of their Genesects with a Fusion. There's the Escape Rope, and now Anthony has to make that choice. You see Anthony's thinking about it. It's like, okay, well, if I send up a Fusion Energy Genesect, I mean, if they have a Choice Belt, I lose a lot of draw power. But if I send up a Mew or an Ice Cube, they guaranteed to get a prize card. They're going to go with the Fusion Energy Genesect. We'll see if Chris has the Choice Belt or not. I don't know if they play it or not, but they might have it. And it looks like the answer is no. Yeah. No Choice Belt, so not getting as powerful of a turn as they could have. I don't know if they play Choice Belt, though. So if they do, yeah, then they kind of missed out on a more powerful turn. Not to say that they could have got that no matter what, but you definitely are missing out on it. Could have been better. I think they probably play Choice Belt. Choice Belt's pretty good in Arceus decks right now, so... Regidrago is set up. All right, Anthony's got the Mew. I think we're looking for a boss KO on Regidrago here for Anthony. And to be honest, like this is what I was talking about. Like I was talking about. Like, I think if Anthony had played more aggressively to build a board like this is Anthony. The board Anthony has built right now is like fine, but they could have had a better. They could have been set up better to play around a board like the board they have. So Anthony could have had 3 Genesects in play with a Fusion Energy each, and then also could have seen way more cards on their first turn, I believe, as well. So. So Anthony could have been in a better spot going into this turn, but because of how they played and weren't playing as aggressively, now they're in like kind of a worse spot overall. They still have some options here though. They have the double. They should just probably go double turbo to Mew, and then or double turbo to Ice Cube. This is like okay. I mean, they're still kind of like prioritizing this KO on the Spiritomb. I think KO Regidrago is much more important because once you take this one prize knockout as Anthony, your prize trade becomes so whack for the rest of the game. Even if you get the Spiritomb KO, your prize trade is so whack as Anthony. But if you KO the Regidrago while maintaining or retaining 2 Genesects in play with a Fusion Energy each, like you're in a pretty good spot. And like I said, Anthony could have been in a spot where they had 3 Fusion Energy on 3 Genesects, and you'd be in even a better spot. Because then once you get that 4th Fusion Energy and play alongside like a Meloetta, you're cooking. Pretty good options in that hand though. The hand's pretty good. Got the Ultra Ball, thin out the hand. Probably play the. We're just looking for a switch card here for Anthony, so you're probably playing the Iono. And something for the IQ Count Spiritomb isn't terrible. It doesn't feel as good, I feel like, as going for the Regidrago knockout, but you're still ahead on the prize exchange, which is the important part. Because then there from Anthony can go KO Spiritomb. Actually, you still need to take 3 knockouts after that. Actually, no, the Spiritomb KO just feels really bad here. I take it back. It does not feel that good. We're like super far behind on the prize trade then, I feel like. Way to switch out Genesect. I'm sure there's a switch card in the deck, yeah. Is Ultra Balling away the Iono? I don't know about that. What is the supporter that Anthony's trying to keep around as an option here? That we're Ultra Balling away Iono. Iono was really good there, I feel like, to play. You could have Ultra Balled away the... I don't know. Ultra Ball away the Vacuum? I mean, I'd play the Iono... Well, you could even draw with the last Genesect... The second Genesect first. The last Genesect right now. You could have drawn with the last Genesect before you even played it, and then play it at the end of the turn. Yeah, I don't like this sequence here from Anthony. Could have definitely played that better, I feel like. Looks like they're gonna vacuum the heavy ball, and I would definitely try and hold it, preserve the tablet as well. See that they could have had a. All right, here comes the Genesect use. They could have had an Iono in the hand to work with as well. Like, what if you whiff here? Well, they got another Iono, I guess. Maybe they just knew. You could also play the Cram beforehand, but it does burn a tablet. I'm not a big fan of losing a tablet. I'm not a big fan of losing a tablet here, but it's probably correct. Like getting an attack off this turn. If you don't attack this turn as Anthony and get a KO, you just lose. The game is just like, you may as well pack it up. Like, so the tablet might not be worth trying to preserve. Anthony's stressing over the decision though. And it looks like they are going with the Cram. Yeah, I think it's probably correct to do this. We're kind of locked in on this Ice Cube play at this point, so like getting the switch card is like just too important to not go with the extra flip here to try and find it. Okay, we got the heads. Now we don't even have to play the Iono, to be honest. I don't know how big Chris's hand is, but if it's not that big, then you probably don't want to use the Iono here. So you gotta choose between Switch and Escape Rope here as Anthony. I mean, your play is telegraphed at this point. So it would just be, do you want the Regidrago in the active or do you want the Arceus in the active is the question. Because if you play this Escape Rope, there's no reason Chris should send up anything besides the Regidrago here. Unless Chris wants to misplay. But I guess it's kind of on Chris at this point. Let's see what they do. Got the Escape Rope. Yeah, because yeah, the play is super telegraphed at this point. Ice Cube is attacking. And you don't want to play the Iono here as Anthony. Oh wait, hold up. Well, you could send up Spiritomb. Wait, if Spiritomb gets sent up here, Ice Cube, does Ice Cube hit anything or only the bench? You could send up, actually, you know what, to be honest, I take that back. You could send up Spiritomb here, because then Anthony, I assume, is going to KO your Spiritomb, so then you get to pick what you want to send up after that. I guess depending on your hand here as Chris, though, So it might be correct to send up the Regidrago depending on Chris's hand. Because if you don't have a way to move the Spiritomb, then you're just stuck with a Spiritomb in your active possibly. But at least with the Regidrago, you can knock out the Ice Cube. So it's a little bit hand dependent, I guess. But actually, you'd like to send up Spiritomb because that gives you most likely the most flexibility. But if Chris had confidently sent up Spiritomb, I think Anthony still would have KO'd Spiritomb. So that's one of those like little like mind game things where it's hard to judge as to what is actually the correct play. Because Chris's hand could be completely dead, but it's like based on the top deck. Well, I guess you don't get to see your top deck ahead of time. But then, you know, maybe you'd want Arceus in the active, just like you just would want Arceus in the active. So because you want Arceus in the active, you maybe just confidently send up Spiritomb and be like, yeah, my Spiritomb moves if you take a knockout. This if you don't KO it, so you may as well just KO it, right? And Anthony's probably still going to KO your Spiritomb, so then you get to push up Arceus if you'd rather have Arceus in the active instead of Regidrago. But I guess on the to play on the safest side of things, if you want Regidrago in the active anyways, based on your hand as Chris, you should always just push up Regidrago there. Once again, the play is fully telegraphed from Anthony, so you know they're attacking with Ice Cube, so you could like make a judgment call based off that, I guess. There's Raihan. Loads up an energy on the Ralts and gets Pat to the peak, and I believe has something else to do here. Palpad, and then I assume that last card in the hand is a draw supporter. Otherwise, it'd probably be a little bit weird to Raihan for Path. Or it seems like it'd be a little bit weird. We'll see what they got. We'll see what they got. One card hand. So I'm assuming it's something. Not Raihan for Regidrago V-Star. They did not Raihan for Regidrago V-Star. They grabbed Path to the peak. But I don't know if there's a good attacker in the discard pile for Regidrago V-Star anyways. So maybe attacking with the Regidrago V is like the better attack anyways. But maybe that's what Chris is playing here. Just like, well, Regidrago V is as good as the V-Star here. So I'm just going to attack with the V and then go from there. There's something under the Tina, but I don't know what it is. There is another attacker under the Tina. What is that card? Okay, well. Oh, but also gets the KO on the Genesect as well, to be honest. I forgot about the Genesect KO. Okay, maybe Regidrago V is the better attacker here, because you get 3 prize cards. That's a lot of prize cards. Regidrago V might be the optimal attacker here, to be honest. But this is why I didn't like the Spiritomb attack here from Anthony. Now your prize trade is just so whack. Actually, that makes your prize trade awful. Because, like, now Chris just has to punch a Mew VMAX twice and Chris wins. So now your prize trade turned from... Yeah, your prize trade is just whack. Like, it's so bad now. All right, reload of the bench here for Anthony. He has to also take 3 knockouts as Anthony, which is a lot. Definitely should probably play the tablet, so all you need is a double turbo. You could try and, if you want to preserve, you maybe preserving the tablet's correct, and you should hope to just draw into a choice belt, though. I don't think that would be a totally incorrect play from Anthony. I don't know what's left in the deck and what's prized, though. Like, if you need the tablet to be able to 1 KO the Arceus V-Star on the next turn, then you should probably preserve the tablet and just hope to get fortunate on the choice belt draw plus a double turbo. But I think it would be a fine way to play it for this situation, to be honest. What Anthony finds, though. Trek and Shoes, and it looks like Ultra Ball. Surprise count? 5 for Anthony, 3 for Chris. Chris is at a huge advantage right now. I think Chris is at a huge advantage right now. Especially getting Iono out of a potential dead hand as well. I think it was actually, it might have been a mistake there from Anthony to attach that. Because you definitely should play the Trek and Shoes first. But you might want to Ultra Ball away the Sparkle and the Forest Seal Stone, so you shouldn't have played the Forest Seal Stone yet. There is a Fusion Energy left in the deck, though. So... Is that another Trek and Shoes? Oh, it's a Cram, okay. Cram for double turbo here, gets the KO, though. And then after playing this Cram, then you could attach the Forest Seal Stone. We should have held it for a second there. Okay. I think it's a 1. So I think it's gonna be a pass here. To be honest, they've taken quite a bit of time in this game. The first game didn't last very long, but if I was Anthony, I would definitely consider conceding, to be honest. But you can't play also Sparkle, so. All right. Well, hopefully they just concede once they're about to get their 2 prize penalty. Hopefully they just concede. This might be a game loss, actually, to be honest. I don't know what playing this Elsa Sparkle. I don't know what this determines, to be honest. I don't know what this should resolve as a game. Maybe a game loss. I don't know. Maybe a 2 prize penalty. No matter what it is, hopefully Anthony just concedes. To be honest, at this point, because I've taken so much time in this game, Anthony's definitely not the fastest player. I also don't think that's one of the Pokemon that Anthony initially selected with with Elsa Sparkle. Maybe I'm wrong. I think Maybe they did. But that's definitely a double supporter, unless I'm tripping and they passed. They like Anthony passed and then Chris passed back. So yeah, this game has been going on for a while. So Anthony conceding when to conserve time, I think, is reasonable. That's what I'm trying to get to at the end of all this rant, to be honest. All right, got an aroma. I don't know. Chris definitely did not get it. No one caught it. Thankfully, I don't think it'll actually have an impact on the outcome of this game, which isn't a reason that Anthony should be breaking the rules, but it's definitely a mistake on Anthony's part. Anthony did not do that on purpose. So if it doesn't change the outcome of the game, that's all we can hope for, right? Is that Anthony doesn't somehow win this game. Because that would be bad. If Anthony won this game, that would be bad, but Anthony should hopefully lose this game, and then we go on to game 3. And then hopefully there's no more rule breaking happening. I too hope Mew loses. Same. Double supporter. Yeah, they double supported. Does that mean I can cheer for Anthony's downfall? Yes, in this game at least. It's okay to aggressively cheer for Anthony's downfall in game 2. Okay, you switch to Arceus, makes sense. Load up the other Regidrago. We're cooking. Ooh, the V-Star is out, finally. Love to see it. And then the other Regidrago is probably getting loaded up here. Like I said, it feels like it's a matter of time before Anthony loses, to be honest. But we'll see. Especially if there's like the 3 energy here to have 2 Regidragos loaded up. I don't see currently how Anthony ever wins, but it's that much worse. I think Anthony should just concede here. You shouldn't keep playing the game. I also think maybe running to a Genesect is a better choice here as well. Because letting your Muse just get punched and beat up like this just means it's going to be easy for Chris to go boss KO on 1 to win the game. Retreating to a Genesect and hoping he doesn't get knocked out, or that Chris has to attack with Giratina to knock it out, I think puts you in a better spot. So no boss though, so it's just going to be another punch. But if you run to Genesect here as Anthony, Arceus can't KO Genesect. Regidrago can copy Giratina to KO Genesect, but you have to retreat the double turbo off the Arceus, and then you have to loss on 2 energy out of play to do that, and then that could create an awkward board state where Anthony has like a chance to come back. I definitely feel like this could definitely come down to time. Game 1 was really fast though, so maybe not. I don't know how long we've been here in game 2. There's a boss from Anthony, I guess. What are we bossing, though? There's nothing to boss here. See, we should retreat to Genesect last turn. And you could retreat here as Chris and take the knockout with Giratina, but then you have to remove 4 energy from play. And like I said, if Anthony has a good top deck next turn, all of a sudden it could make things awkward. So I like this from Anthony. Just play a little bit, or from Chris. Just punch the active. Just punch it. Go from there. Don't get like you're super far ahead. You don't have to be really aggressive or anything like that. Just chill. Oh, they're getting the damage cards. I was like, what are they doing? Third me VMAX. No Psychic Leap possibilities. Pass. Draw again from Chris. You should take this knockout at this point, but yeah. Knockout. Down to 1 prize card. Fresh me VMAX comes up from Anthony. Could bench the 4th Mew V now if they haven't. It's hard to Psychic Leap these Mew V maxes out of play. There's a double turbo. Double turbo active. Boss up the Regidrago plus a tablet. That is a KO for 2 prize cards, but it still only puts Anthony at 3 prize cards. This goes back to like going after the Spiritomb KO versus trying to KO the Regidrago V in play. They should probably boss KO the V here. Yeah, okay. There's the tablet. We got the Technoblast KO. Yeah, this goes back to the Spiritomb KO. We're still 2 knockouts away from winning the game. So that's what going after the Spiritomb does against this kind of matchup with 2 prizers. It puts you so far off the win that it's maybe worth it to not go for that and just try and go for the little bit less likely route of just going after 2 prize Pokemon. So, but based on how Anthony set up their first turn, they were not forced into the Ice Cube play, but it was like probably correct. I don't know. Should be another Ralt here from this nest ball, but it looks like Chris still does not have a way to win the game. Does Chris run any boss? Yeah, I'm sure there's like 2 boss in Chris's deck. But no great way to find them besides drawing into them. Hasn't been able to set up a Curly either, which has been unfortunate for Chris. But even just if Chris just punches this Mew V, then that's probably game, to be honest. Double triple to the Ralts. So it looks like Chris is going to use Giratina. I like this play. You put 280 on it, and then you can snipe it with the just close out the game as soon as possible here for Chris. You can snipe it later. Although everything in play here basically dies to Giratina attack anyway, so I don't think Anthony really has a play. Unless Anthony can 1-hit KO the active. But even if Anthony 1-hit KOs the active, the other Mew VMAXs get KO'd. All right, finally, we see the concession. Like I said, I think I would have liked to have seen this a little bit sooner. I don't quite know how much time is left. Neither player is playing a watch, so I don't know if either player knows how much time is left. So I would like to have seen Anthony scoop sooner, I think. Because now we could start to run out of time towards in this game 3. But maybe like Anthony's fine with less time in the round. Like you still have like a 1% chance to win game 2, and if you don't, then less time in the round maybe favors you overall anyway. So it's like not that big of a deal for Anthony. It's like, yeah, well, I have like a 1% chance to win game 2. I may as well take that because less time in game 3 actually favors Mew over the Regidrago deck possibly. I don't know. I think if the Regidrago deck sets up, they kind of just win. And it's Mew's job to make that setup just as hard as possible. I don't know. Dude, that camera flicker is insane. You mean the moving of it? That record is 1-1 now. We're going into game 3. Did you show up in the Rockets Hideout TCG stream earlier? I clicked on the stream, yeah. That's what you mean. Was I in the stream? Or do you mean was I on the camera? Or on the stream? Like on the stream. I wasn't on the stream. But I did click on the stream. See if there was any gameplay going on, but I didn't see any. In chat? Yeah, I clicked on the stream. I was in the stream for a second. I gotta make it a one of the things with gotta make it like a known thing that we're hosting a 1K tournament. You should switch your Davis, you should switch the category on Twitch from Pokemon Trading Card Game to Pokemon Trading Card Game Live so people can actually find the stream, because no one goes to find the stream on Pokemon Trading Card Game. You should switch over to Pokemon Trading Card Game Live, because any competitive players don't filter through the Pokemon Trading Card Game section on Twitch. They filter through the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live section. So it also stands out better there because it's a tabletop game being played versus compared to live being played. So people will actually take better note of it and see that it's something different. But if you put it in the Pokemon Trading Card Game area, no one's gonna notice it. You should make it adjust over there. You think it's worth it to play 1x Hawlucha and Arctur? I don't know. I haven't played enough of the matchup. I haven't played enough of the deck. I'm sorry. Yeah, we gotta make that a known thing in the Pokemon community that if you're gonna stream League Cups and League Challenges or any local tournaments on Twitch, you should go under the Pokemon Trading Card Game Live category for sure. Because no one's gonna find it if you're under the other category. No one will find you. All right. So we got Anthony going first here. I like the Fusion Energy on the Genesect. I honestly don't like the Ultra Ball away of the boss, though. I actually don't like that. I don't like that play at all, actually. I think we should have played Heavy Ball here as Anthony and then drawn 2 and then played the Ultra Ball. Our goal here is turn 2, boss KO the Arc with the energy. That's our goal turn 2 here as Anthony. So I don't like that play actually here from Anthony. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It should definitely have kept that boss. Yeah, because our goal turn 2 is literally just boss KO Arceus. I do like the Fusion Energy on the Genesect. We attach the Fusion Energy to the Mew. There is a higher chance of getting off the attack with Mew through getting the unnecessary energy, but we know Spiritomb is going to be on the way next turn probably, so we definitely got to play around Spiritomb existing. Yeah. I would like to have seen Anthony play that a little bit differently. Just a little bit differently. I want to keep that boss around. And if there is a basic prize, so you get it off the Heavy Ball, but Anthony hasn't searched their deck yet, so they don't know if a basic prize. So now if you prized Meloetta, basically the biggest thing would just be prize and Meloetta. If Meloetta's prize, that sucks. But as long as there's just a basic prize. Yo, is this the ultimate punish? Is Meloetta prized? That's so hype if it is. Oh, dude, Meloetta's prized. I love seeing the punish. optimal RNG when someone misplays and then gets punished for it. Love to see it. Yeah, so we could have had heavy ball for Meloetta, bench Meloetta, hold ultra ball, hold boss, draw 2 with Genesect, play ultra ball afterwards if we want to, hold the boss to be able to have the boss up the Arceus, take the knockout with the Mew VMAX. But besides that, I like the fusion energy on the Genesect for sure. I'm almost positive I did not see Melo in the deck. I could have misseen it, but I'm almost positive. And then look, there's the Mew VMAX, there's a double turbo. Well, I guess we wouldn't have drawn those in that exact order, but I was like, we're just like a boss short here. But we had the boss. Yeah, putting the other Mew down probably makes no sense. And turn 2 knockout on the active is also still a 2 prize knockout on a V, so it's not bad to KO the active, but you'd rather chase the V there. I actually wonder, what is the correct ruling? Like, if the judge figures out that Anthony did make a mistake in their last game, should that get retroactively? It shouldn't get applied to this game, right? Even though because they caught it late, right? It would have been applied to last game, but they lost last game, so it's fine, right? Not playing the Trek and Choose is weird here. I don't know why you wouldn't play Trek and Choose first here. Because if you discard a card, like if you play Trek and Choose there, and you hit the Battle VIP fast, you discard it, and then you draw a card, and if you play that card, then you draw another card with Genesect. Why are we holding Trek and Choose here? That makes no sense. I think Anthony's trolling for this one. That makes no sense. So that's trolling. Why are we holding that? I'm just going to issue a penalty in the current game / round. Okay, so it's too far gone at this point. Okay, we got the energy turn 1 here for Chris and an Iono. So definitely looking for that Spiritomb. Anthony Sam was pretty good too. Anthony Sam was pretty good. But there could have been, like, yeah, the Trek and Choose. We would have had 1 less dead card in the deck if we had just, like, played the Trek and Choose there. Got rid of the Battle VIP pass. Yeah. We definitely need to find another basic Pokemon here for Chris. Ideally the Spiritomb, but also something else to... So if Escape Rope gets played, you have something to push up here as Chris. Uh-oh. Does Chris not have any Pokemon in hand? No, it's the pass! No Spiritomb, no other Pokemon. We don't even need the boss now for Anthony. You just need the Escape Rope. And Anthony already pretty much has everything they need here to get the KO on the Arceus on the bench. Got the energy, got the evolution. Got a Cram on the Battle VIP Pass and an Ultra Ball. Actually, 2 Ultra Balls in hand. Here we go with the Cram. I think if we get a Heads here on... Oh, wait, we have the 4 Seal Stone in place still as well. Jeez, man. Yeah, Anthony should have the KO here almost certainly. Should just Ultra Ball away this whole hand, I think. Probably... Yep. I mean, you maybe want to save the Palpad to recover the boss. And I mean, holding both Ultra Balls is kind of fine, to be honest. Palpad boss back and then draw 4 with Genesect into Ultra Ball 2 into draw again with Genesect into Ultra Ball again into then draw again with Genesect. That's fine. You probably hold the double Ultra Ball here, actually. I think I like that a little bit better. Also, putting the boss back in the deck does increase your outs to a way to bring up the Arceus. Escape Rope is great, but also just boss. You'd rather use the Escape Rope so you can save the boss to boss other stuff, but you'd rather increase your outs as well, though. So then after you draw this boss, then the 4 Seal Stone find something else and so on and so forth. So I think I like this sequence. That's a lot of bad cards, though. So we're probably looking at... All right, playing the tablet. Ultra Ball away and Ultra Ball and the Battle VIP Pass, probably. That looks like Anthony agrees. There was a second Mew in play last turn, right? So we can evolve one of these Mew to another Mew VMAX. Oh, no, we're guaranteed it, though. Now, because we got the modifier. So now the 4 Seal Stone guarantees something. We don't want to use the 4 Seal Stone yet because there's no reason to. So we'll use our last couple Genesects first. And then if we draw into the Gust or Switch card, then we get to save 4 Seal Stone for like next turn or something. So yeah, but this game's basically over, I think. I don't think there's any way that I don't think there's any way that Chris makes a comeback here. This one's cooked. Why does it look like bro has 8 prize cards? Because of the shadow of the cord on the camera. I see what you're saying, though. It does kind of look like 8 prize cards because it's because of the shadow on the cord on the camera, though. Oh, there's the Escape Rope. We don't even have to use 4 Seal Stone. There's the Escape Rope. Muse do a little dance. Yeah, 4 Seal Stone or cram away this. I don't even know what you grab here, though. You probably grab Sparkle, actually, and play the Sparkle. If you get heads here, you grab Sparkle and Sparkle to your other 2 Genesects. All right, we got 1 more Genesect. We can draw 3. There's like a potential argument to go ahead and do the Sparkle now as well. Like burn the 4 Seal Stone, like use the 4 Seal Stone to get Sparkle to use Sparkle, so that way you can play a different supporter next turn, but still have access to all your Genesects if Spiritomb does make it to play. I guess I do see a route for a comeback here from Chris, if you get down Spiritomb and then play Judge or Iono next turn, I could see a world where actually Chris can win this. But would need to find Spiritomb plus Judge or Iono on this next turn. And they didn't use Spiritomb last turn, so they don't have Spiritomb in hand currently. They could find it. They also need to find an Arceus and an Energy on top of all of that. And last turn, they didn't do anything. And it's just a Judge. So off of this Judge, we need Arceus, Energy, Spiritomb. We could get Arceus, Energy, Path. Actually, Arceus, Energy, Path is probably better because Spiritomb gets played around by the Fusion Energy. Path, there's a lot of outs of the Path as well, but yeah, and then just hope that the Path sticks for a couple turns because Technoblast also just happened. So actually, Anthony can't attack with the Mew VMAX in the active next turn anyway. So that could be like, this could be, there's a comeback route here for Chris. Spiritomb or Path plus Spiritomb or Path plus Arceus Energy, and there's some hope. I actually don't really want to put Path in play though because you want to be able to Starbirth on your turn. So Spiritomb is the more likely route probably to victory, to be honest. There's Arceus and a Curlia and a Boss and a something. I don't see Energy or Spiritomb though. I think it is a pass. All right. Is that an escape rope off the rip? That might be an escape rope. And a choice belt, bro. No, it's a tablet. Okay, but we still have 4 Seal Stone. So if the second escape rope is in the deck here, then Anthony should be able to grab it. I think you just discard the Cram here, to be honest. You could discard the Cram, draw an extra card, and then Ultra Ball away the extra card if it's not good, plus the Path to the Peak. I don't hate that, but goes with taking the Cram. I guess that's like fine as well. There's a Heads, so this should be getting second escape rope if it's in the deck. Goes for the double turbo instead. I think I like the escape rope grab, but this should still lead to a knockout majority of the time. The attach from the bottom. That's so funny. Devil works on Fusion Energy. Yes. Path with unused Seal Stone. Oh, that's true. There's 4 Seal Stone. Yeah, they're just so set up, man. They're just so set up. That's true. They are just so set up, man. They still have 4 Seal Stone. Like, yeah, Chris is cooked. Chris is cooked in this one. Okay, did not draw it there, but still has the 4 Seal Stone. As long as Anthony remembers they have the 4 Seal Stone, they should be good. But if not, just KOing the active should still win them the game. Like, even if Anthony just KOs the active here. But here comes the 4 Seal Stone. Goes for the Boss here. Yeah, maybe saving the... Actually, I kind of like saving the escape rope, to be honest. Yep. Boss, bring up Arceus. And yeah, you do want to KO the Arceus over the Regidrago. Take away the Starbirth, because the Starbirth could open up like an Iono plus a Spiritomb, an Iono plus a Path, whatever it might be. So remove the Starbirth. That could like guarantee a line here. And yeah, even if they didn't have that much time going to this game too, like I was talking about in game 2, this one's basically still just over at this point. Easy dub here for Anthony in the game 3. It kind of sucks for Chris. Like, you'd hope to at least be able to play the game to the extent, like, even if you lose, like, you'd like to, like, you know, get your Spiritomb in play, maybe attack a couple times, you know, and then if you still lose to that, that's like fine. It always feels bad to lose like this. Also on the Genesect plus a double turbo to the active, some last minute Rage here from Chris, and gets the Grass Energy off the whatever the first attack is from Regidrago. Both players are reading it. Oh, 2 double turbos. Look out. It gets all energy, not just basic energy. Crazy moves here from Chris. I don't know if it's gonna be enough though. That's a lot of energy on the Regidrago. If they can survive for another turn, it could be enough. We'll have to see if actually Anthony's hand kind of sucks. I think Anthony going to attach pass. Oh, they didn't draw yet. Their hand got it worse. All right. People come back? Maybe. Probably not. It's actually looking like they're going to attach this. This being attached to a Mew never makes any sense. Oh, it's being attached active. Okay, good. I was like, it looked like they were about to attach it to the Mew, but that's not how Anthony attaches energy anyway, so it doesn't make any sense. Okay. Nest Ball from Chris. Is this it? Is this the comeback? Is this what we've been waiting for, chat? I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. Eyeing up the Ralts. Oh. Goes for the Arceus. We still have Starbirth. There's no 4 Steel Stone here for Anthony. So Path to the Peak. Good stick. The energy on the bottom should be illegal. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, the energy is being attached from the bottom like that. Another double turbo? Wait, can it attach anywhere? Not just... It's getting more powerful, bro. 3 double turbos? I love how both times that Chris has used the attack, they both like lean in to read the card because neither of them have any idea what it does. All right, second fusion energy retreat. Got the choice belt and the double turbo on the benched Mew. I don't know why they're touching the double turbo energy, but they are. 1, 2, 3 confirming. All right. Looks like we got a showdown of our 2. The last 2 matches we've seen that who won. In the top 8, Scarlet got the dub with the Arc Dur. And then Anthony got the dub in the last match we just watched with the Mew deck. I definitely favor Anthony in this matchup overall. I definitely favor Anthony overall in this matchup. By a decent amount. It depends on if Scarlet plays the Spiritomb or not, though, for sure. Let me run this giveaway real fast. If you win the giveaway, you can send me a message on Twitch, Twitter, or Discord with a name and an address. If not, I'll be sending you a message after the stream asking for name and address. Congrats on the dub there. Nightclaw 1028. That's on the dub. Yeah, like I said, you can send me a message if you want, but if not, I'll be sending you a message on Twitch after the stream is over, asking for your name and address. I'm pretty good here. It's all right. It doesn't really, you don't win the trade though. Umbreon's like okay. It doesn't actually like 1 KOs Mew VMAX, but Mew VMAX is usually just going to be ahead in the prize trade anyway, so it doesn't really matter. A decent amount of that does come down to the potential of like Echoing Horn or something like that, but yeah, this matchup's pretty good for Mew if you don't have Spiritomb. Like that's why people, even despite having the Spiritomb, usually the 2 months there, I call. Yeah, that's why we see people, even if they have the Umbreon, they still play the Spiritomb in there. Like that's what we saw at NAIC. I think we're seeing the Force Seal Zone come out here for Battle VIP Pass. And then has a Vacuum in hand, but I can't tell. Why did they could have also drawn for 1 with Genesect first as well. I don't know. Maybe not. It's not worth it. I think they might have a Vacuum and a Sparkle in the hand, so you probably want to hold on to the Sparkle for next turn to potentially attack with Metal Butter for a KO. I think that seems reasonable. We'll see what they do. You'd rather almost like not attack with Meloetta and then instead attack with a Mew with the Fusion Energy in play to be able to get around that actually. Gets annoyed. I definitely don't get annoyed at people attaching energy and tools to the bottom of their Pokemon like the way that Anthony does it, but like it is funny. Yeah, I don't get annoyed personally. Yeah, so it looks like Anthony definitely wants to try. I think it is a Sparkle. It looks like a Sparkle. Trying to conserve the Sparkle. It's 3 draw. Here comes your Shoes looking for a basic or a Battle VIP Pass. It's an Iono. Probably discard that because you're trying to play the Sparkle next turn anyways. Drew into Trekking Shoes. Does have a Vacuum in hand, so it can just Trekking or it can just vacuum away the cram away the vacuum. Cram away the vacuum. Cram away the vacuum. I don't know what you get here though. You could get, there's a couple things you could get here. Fusion Energy. They passed. Why would you pass? What stadium are you afraid of? Yeah, I definitely don't like. That actually is a really good hand for Scarlet. This hand is actually really, really good for Scarlet. It has double turbo and a Adventurous Discovery and a Nest Ball. Like this hand is actually insane. This would definitely be one of those hands where this is a good enough hand for Scarlet to potentially win this prize trade, to be honest. We'll see. That's a really good hand though. So we can see wait, does Scarlet not play Dark Energy? I only saw Fightings and Metals there on that pass through. I still have yet to see a Dark Energy, actually. I think. Alright, sounds good, Nightclaw. What we want to see Scarlet get here is 2 Umbreon V, and then ideally another Arceus V, and they get a, ideally Umbreon V Max and Arceus V Star access. Oh, there's Dark Energy in there. I was like, I just there in the front of the deck. So you want to get like put 1 dark because you play Choice Belt in the deck here as Scarlet. You want to get 2 Umbreons down and put a dark and a metal on one, and then a dark or then a dark on another. They're only going for the 1 Umbreon. They did line up the the Duraludon as well. I don't think they're going the full Umbreon route, but you kind of can't win without going the full Umbreon route, to be honest. I think they're hoping that their Umbreon doesn't get turned to Gust KO'd, but that's kind of wishful thinking, to be honest. That Umbreon is for sure getting knocked out. No shot that thing survives. What's the, oh yeah, one card that's like super important for this matchup is Echoing Horn. I don't know if Anthony plays the Echoing Horn. The second Umbreon could be prized as well, to be honest. The second Umbreon could be prized. So that's maybe why we're settling for the Duraludon here from Scarlet. And we're just gonna go back in with a Trinity Charge. And even had the Raihan to make the play on the next turn. So Trinity Charge coming in. Question is, what do you get? Where do you put them? You could split them 1-1-1 across the bench, to be honest. That doesn't sound terrible. So you have the option of attacking with anything. Yeah, one dark. Actually, what do you do here? I honestly don't know the optimal place to put your energy here, because if you get knocked out by a Meloetta, you want to attack with an Arceus. I would not do that. I would not put... All right, I don't like this at all. Well... Yeah, because this opens it up for Anthony to just go boss KO the Dura. And if you boss KO the Dura here as Anthony... No energy on the Umbreon? Okay, so you have the Raihan in hand here, though, for Scarlet. Did Scarlet make this work where you could still set up the Umbreon if the Dura gets boss KO'd? Or even the... If the active gets KO'd here, you can go Raihan the Dark Energy to the Umbreon. Raihan the Dark Energy to the Umbreon. And then get Arceus V-Star. Arceus V-Star finds double turbo choice belt. Umbreon knocks out Mew. But if Duraludon gets boss KO, you'd have to hard retreat the Arceus, get the Dark Energy off the Arceus to then Raihan it to the Umbreon. And then you'd only have Umbreon set up. And then if Anthony one-hit KOs your Umbreon on the next turn, you just lose. So I don't know about the no energy on the Umbreon. I'm not sure about the Dark Energy on the active feels a little bit weird because that could have been put on the Umbreon. And then Anthony can also just go Gust KO your Umbreon as well, to be honest. Yeah. Why evolve both Mews? Because you're trying to draw more cards with your Genesect. Yeah, I'm curious to see what Anthony ends up KOing here. But there's a Sparkle. So it looks like knock out the active is going to be the focus here from Anthony. KO the active Arceus. Seems to be the focus here. Which is not terrible. But the Umbreon play... Oh, I see what you're saying, though. A reason to not evolve both Mew VMAXs would be it stops Scarlet from just going KO3 Prizer, KO3 Prizer. Which is honestly something Anthony maybe should have tried to play around here. And Anthony maybe should have gone... Instead of putting the Fusion Energy on the Mew VMAX, should have maybe put the Fusion Energy on a Genesect to remove the threat, to continue to make Meloetta a massive threat without actually allowing Scarlet to get a 3-prize knockout, plus removing the threat of the Meloetta. Yeah, I see what you're saying now. Yeah, don't let him go 3-3. But now Scarlet can go 3-3, and also can knock out the Mew with the Fusion Energy. But that's like a tough call for Anthony to make, to be honest, because Anthony also has to draw into the knockout to begin with. Because if Anthony never gets the KO to begin with, you just lose anyways, right? So, I don't know about that one, to be honest. Fusion Energy does block Dark Signal, though. That is true. Actually, that is true. Fusion Energy does block Dark Signal. I forgot about that, to be honest. So I guessed... yeah, so Scarlet can't even make that play happen. They could chase the other Mew and then boss KO after that. I forgot about that, yeah. So maybe the play is fine here from Anthony. I mean, I think it is still fine. I think even if Anthony... Maybe the Fusion Energy should still be on Genesect, to be honest. The Fusion Energy should maybe still be on Genesect. But I think evolving to both Mew VMAXs is fine. Because you kind of just need to... You need to get a knock... If you don't get a knockout this turn, you lose to Anthony anyway. So you need to get those extra cards off Genesect for sure. But I think there's still an argument to put that, I guess, because you're still leaving one Mew without a Fusion Energy. The Fusion Energy on the Mew V should maybe be on a Genesect still. Or on the Mew V Max should maybe just be on a Genesect still. I think, like, once again, Echoing Horn's like a really big deal in this matchup. I don't know if Anthony plays the Echoing Horn. And actually, one of the things you have to like look out for in this matchup with the Echoing Horn is actually having your own Lost City in play like Anthony does. Because if you have Lost City in play, the Pokemon goes to the Lost Zone, not the discard pile, so there's nothing to Echoing Horn for anyway. And the last two cards are Fusion and the Tablet. So Anthony has the KO on the active here, and I don't see a world where you ever don't do that. I guess the question would just be, do you want to retreat to a Mew VMAX? But probably not when there's an Umbreon on the bench. But Anthony maybe isn't thinking about Choice Belt and instead thinking about just giving up a knockout in general. Because that seems to be what Anthony's leaning towards, is like thinking about attaching to the bench as opposed to attaching to the active. Nope, there's the attach to the active though. Has boss, but can't play that because played Sparkle. So it's thinking about boss, but you can't actually boss here because Sparkle was already played. Dude, not back-to-back double supporters from Anthony. Please, no. All right, draw 2 off Genesect. Has a heavy ball. Should probably play it, looks like, based on the hand. You could hold it, though. Your hand's probably not getting disrupted next turn. I guess your hand could get disrupted next turn. I guess, okay, so actually one reason to not put the fusion energy on a Genesect, though, is that would allow Umbreon. No, you can't Umbreon up the Genesect. Dude, that's so, I think that's blowing my mind right now. You can't Umbreon something with a fusion energy. What is Scarlet gonna get if they Raihan? You get there's not a Arceus V-Star in the hand, so you get Arceus V-Star. So you go Raihan, grab Arceus V-Star. Okay, there's a knockout on the active. So now Umbreon comes up. But that leaves all the fusion energy in play, to be honest. Then Meloetta can come back up and KO your Umbreon. What if Scarlet doesn't know about the play? What if Scarlet tries to bring up the Mew VMAX with the fusion energy? See, that's actually a problem here for Scarlet, is that the Meloetta is going to come back up and nuke you. Even though Scarlet can get the 3-prize KO on the Mew VMAX, then you just get nuked. I almost feel like Scarlet should have actually attacked this turn with Arceus. I feel like Scarlet should have attacked with Arceus to KO the Meloetta first and go down a 1-2-3 prize trade. Because now, because now Meloetta's going to nuke. And then you don't have a way to, you can't KO the other Mew VMAX anyway, so you have to go down the 1-2-3 route anyways. Yeah, this is actually a misplay from Scarlet. Like you can't go for the Mew VMAX KO this turn. Because if you do, you just lose the trade. Because the Metal comes back up, nukes you. And then you go Mew VMAX, triple tablet, choice belt, KO the Arceus off the bench. Or Echoing Horn possibly, if this Umbreon doesn't end up in the loss zone. But I actually, well, I guess Scarlet could mess up here. Maybe Scarlet doesn't actually use the Gust effect and actually just KOs the active with the Umbreon. But if you're going to KO it with the Umbreon, you should just KO it with the Arceus because that sets up more stuff. All right, goes after the correct Mew VMAX, but this doesn't do anything. Attacking with Umbreon doesn't do anything here. It does the exact same thing as attacking with Arceus, but Arceus does way... Oh, no, you can't play Research. You just played Raihan. Attacking with Arceus does so much more than attack. You could still evolve to the Umbreon, and you could even still evolve to the Duraludon as well. To protect those. But attacking with Umbreon here just means, yeah, Meloetta gets to clap back with the fusion energy. And drawing the 3 prize cards there means you can get Iono down to 3 possibly as well. We'll see how good Anthony's hand is here, of course. Maybe Anthony can't quite pull that play off, but yeah, I don't really like this play actually here from Scarlet. I think Scarlet should have just knocked out the Meloetta with Arceus and just evolve to the Umbreon. The Mew VMAX should also go to the loss zone here. It's not going to be relevant based on the... There's a Cram in hand. The rest of the hand actually kind of sucks here, it looks like, for Anthony. Bench before the Cram. Not a huge fan of that, but it's not a big deal. Even boss KO on Dirk here with Meloetta is probably fine for Anthony. They have to just pray that there's no boss for Scarlet. Is it a heads or a tails? I feel like it's got to be okay. More stuff to the loss zone. All right, correct. Not a big deal, but needs all 4 fusion plus belt, right? Belt or a tablet, yeah. But that's like not... Mew's pretty good at seeing cards. Like you should basically, if you can play around Mew always having it, you should assume Mew always has it. Because they always have it. But the tail, I think the hand is actually clogged up here for Anthony, unfortunately. Because, yeah, here comes a double turbo energy to the Genesect. Which is obviously not ideal. And I think Anthony's thinking about playing the boss. Yeah, and plays it on the Duraludon. Yeah, I was thinking about playing the boss ahead to be able to draw more cards off Genesect. Yeah, it's a rough draw here for Anthony, to be honest. Like, the hand is just literally just all bricks. Needs to find a modifier now. Ideally a choice belt, not a tablet, especially if they play 2 choice belt. Oh, it is a tablet. That's unfortunate. But I think they have 2 tablets and a choice belt left, so they still can go boss KO Arceus next turn. There's an Ultra Ball to thin out the hand a little bit. You want to draw a lot of cards this turn. Your game plan next turn is to go boss KO the Arceus. Gonna need double tablet choice belt. Yeah, that attachment to the Genesect is just wrong, right? That should always be on the Mew anyways. Yeah, if you're gonna attach... Oh no, I think Anthony was playing for Sparkle into the last Fusion Energy KO the Umbreon. No, but then they bossed anyways ahead of time, so that play wasn't even available. I don't know. Yeah, so if Scarlet has Ultra Ball for Luminion for boss or boss in hand here, Scarlet does win by bossing up this Mew VMAX and knocking it out. Actually, Anthony can get Vacuum. And you can vacuum away the Choice Belt off the Umbreon, and the Umbreon actually can't KO the Mew VMAX then. Yeah, I'm assuming Scarlet only plays the one Choice Belt. I really don't like the line that Scarlet chose on that last turn. There's so many flaws to it. There's so many ways that Anthony can kind of counter it pretty cleanly. Like the vacuum also works. Yeah, it's like vacuuming away the Choice Belt. And I actually, if we get a Cram Heads here for Anthony, that's what Anthony should go for, is get vacuum. If there's any vacuum left, I think there's maybe would have been one played, maybe 0. Yeah, I would get Cram here, get the vacuum away that Choice Belt. Because without the Choice Belt, the Umbreon actually doesn't KO the Mew VMAX because of the double turbo damage reduction. You're only doing 280. Well, there's a swing. Definitely a mistake there from Anthony. I think there is a vacuum left here. Is there a boss for Scarlet? That's an escape rope. No boss. Does play the Spiritomb and does have it now. So this is going to be another hurdle for Anthony to get over. This actually might be impossible for Anthony to win now, to be honest. I don't know if Anthony can deal with Spiritomb now, on top of everything else. Just 320 without no belt. Oh, yeah, the double turbo. Come on, what are you trolling? I'm not sure what that card in the hand is. It's Judge. I think actually you could play the Hawlucha here and put it on a couple Genesects. Hawlucha into double Genesect means that you can KO a Genesect to win the game here more easily as Scarlet. Because you could Alakazam move a damage over from one Genesect to another Genesect, so it has 20. Because Umbreon right now is hitting for 170, which then means you're doing enough to KO a Genesect. Or to also put it in range for Arceus to KO with a double turbo and a basic energy as well. So I feel like Scarlet should have just... It also gets the Hawlucha out of the deck. So, to be honest, I'm actually kind of hoping that Scarlet draws back into the Hawlucha here as punishment. Because you're supposed to play it there, I'm pretty sure. Just put 2 damage counters on the Genesects. Because, like, the Umbreon can't be allowed to live anyways. So, the only play from Anthony is to hide behind Genesect. Either Anthony draws, like, the nuts here and nukes your, Umbreon or Arceus. But doing that under Spiritomb with 0 fusion energy on your Genesect is not possible. It's not going to happen. Or they hide behind Genesect for a turn to get to the point where they can do that. So, if doing 170, can't we boss Mew? We could boss Mew, but it allows us to Umbreon. I should have said that. We can Umbreon Genesect, but we can't Umbreon Mew. I'm sorry. Yeah, but they hide. Oh, but actually they could have built it up that you can't hide behind a Genesect, because you could have actually Hawlucha 2 damage counters in play, Alakazammed 1 over to one of the Genesects, and then no matter what Genesect they hide behind, you could move that 2 to the Genesect they hide behind and do 170. So no, it still makes sense to do the play that I mentioned. Because then you could, like, move them. You could... This turn, Scarlet could have gone Hawlucha the double Genesects, 2 Genesects, Alakazam 1 from one Genesect to another Genesect, and then you can move that 2 around to any Genesect to KO it. All right, a couple cards come down, and the Iono from Anthony. The path actually here could work against Scarlet. The path possibly could to stop Luminion. We need to see a vacuum here. A vacuum here from Anthony to get rid of that Choice Belt. All right. Game 3. We still could have seen... Oh, there was a boss in hand anyway, so the Mew was getting chased down no matter what. We could have seen Anthony hide behind a Genesect. Then Genesect with the double turbo there, to be honest. Didn't go that route. Should have retreated to the Genesect, though, right? Retreat to the Genesect with the double turbo. That makes the most sense to me. Hide behind it and pray. Spiritomb stops Luminion, too. Oh, yeah, that's true. I always forget Spiritomb stops your side of the field, man. I always think it's only just your opponents. All right, so we got the Mew going first here. Alakazam start, not the Spiritomb start. That would have been really gross if there was a Spiritomb start here for Scarlet. That's where you just pack it up. That feels like you got to pack it up. Definitely plenty of cards in the hand here for Anthony. You don't really want to play the heavy ball, to be honest. What? It goes for it. Maybe we just want to cram that, because if there's not a basic here, it's going to feel really bad. There is a Genesect, though, it looks like. I think that's a Genesect. I actually can't tell for sure. Okay. So not too bad, then. Yeah, double Ultra Ball being prized isn't great, to be honest. Choice Belt as well. It's like another card you want. Ultra Balls are just good to have because it clears out your hand to draw more cards with Genesect, and then the modifier of Choice Belt is also really nice. I think Anthony does play 2 Choice Belt, but I actually don't know for sure. That'd just be my guess. The rest of the hand, the rest of the hand's not that good. It's like okay. Yeah, if there wasn't a basic there, that would have been pretty. They wouldn't have been that bad. I think you probably play the Cram here, and because you know Spiritomb exists, you probably just throw the Fusion on the Genesect as well, right? You kind of want to hold on to the switch card as a switch card to have the possibility of using it next turn, but Tails, yeah, you definitely have to. I don't like the sequencing here. I don't know why Anthony's trying to hold on to this Fusion energy so bad. Like, you know they play Spiritomb. I would have liked to have seen it attached to Genesect and use Genesect for 2 first, and then go into the Force Seal Stone possibly. Because the way that Anthony's playing this, it seems like they're going to attach the Fusion energy to a Mew instead of a Genesect. But that does not seem very good. Then if the Spiritomb comes down, I mean, then you have to deal with Spiritomb. And then you're going to want Fusion energy on your Genesect anyway, so you may as well get the Fusion energy on your Genesect now. So the way they're sequencing this makes me think that the Fusion energy is going to be attached to Mew, but maybe they are going to attach it to the Genesect. We'll see here in a second. Okay, it is going down to a Genesect. Okay. I also think I would have liked to have seen a third Genesect over. No, they did put it on the Mew. I mean, that makes sense for how they sequence it, but I don't think I like that play. Aren't you just gonna get bullied by Spiritomb now? Like, what is it? Why would you ever play it like this? I don't think that makes sense. It feels like you're just gonna get bullied by Spiritomb. Trek and Shoes. I don't know if I like this Trek and Shoes use either, to be honest. I think I would have liked to have seen Cram the Trek and Shoes. And then also I think instead of getting 2 Mew, you don't really need 2 Mew V on your next turn. You should have got a third Genesect and a Mew V. Not a great hand. I think it's gonna be a pass from here. Yeah, Spiritomb comes out next turn. The board state is so much worse for Anthony to deal with that. Also, if you get like Iono or Judge, then you're really in trouble because your hand is really good to potentially get energy, Fusion energy on your Genesects. But all right, here we go. Umbreon, Arceus. We'll see how good the hand is here though for Scar. And it's just a pass. Okay, so that's not good. Boss KO on the Arceus is definitely the play here for Anthony. The hand is not good to pull that off though, to be honest. The hand kind of sucks to pull that off. We use our Force Seal Stone. Yeah, it's not a good hand here at all. Anthony is not cooking. Man, what do you even do? Maybe you just don't go for the Arceus KO and you just settle for the Sparkle play. You maybe have to settle for the Sparkle play. You could cram the you could attach to the Mew though and cram the tablet and see what happens. I think that would be okay start. Then if you get heads, get an Ultra Ball, thin out the hand, and then draw with... You only have 2 Genesects in play as well, though. Maybe you should just commit to the Sparkle. I don't know. I don't hate just committing to Sparkle and basically trying to go for an Escape Rope instead. I think that would be fine, to be honest, but... The thing that like almost switches the game, but it's just getting there seems tough out of this hand, to be honest. The KO on the Arceus seems tough. I think that was a Tails. Oh, wow, they just went... No, you don't... What? Did they just Iono here? There's no way. All right, that's bad. You definitely draw with Genesect first. You do... Dude, Scarlet just went bench, attach, pass, and then you're like... They didn't play a support. I mean, they could have, like, Arceus V-Star in their hand and stuff like that, but you don't give them a fresh high end of 6. That's a bad play right there. No shot. We're still looking for that Escape Rope here for Anthony. 2 Genesects to draw with. Got that. Escape Rope Knockout gives us like a shot here. There's no Escape Rope Knockout after giving Scarlet a new hand. That's going to be tough. We maybe should have vacuumed away our Own Lost City. If Anthony plays Echoing Horn, you should have got rid of your Own Lost City here. But what is Anthony thinking about? Oh, tablet. Thinking about... No, but your Mew... No, but to KO the... Yeah, okay. That seems fine. You really need to find Escape Rope here. Switch also really won't cut it here, to be honest. Like, you need Escape Rope. Because if you just switch here, KO and Alakazam is just like... I'm not putting any pressure. Like, your prize trade is still okay at that point. Your prize trade is salvageable if you KO the Alakazam, because you can go the 1-2-3 prize trade. But, like, you're not taking away their Umbreon. Then that gets to evolve. Or not taking away the Arceus. And then the Arceus gives them Starbirth is, like... pretty bad. This is not looking good for Anthony. It might be cooked. Okay, Ultra Ball for the Mew VMAX. One last draw with Genesect here. We're looking for that escape rope. They currently KO anything on the field. They played a Power Tablet already. Escape rope, KOs the Umbreon, KOs the Arceus. It's up to Scarlet to decide what to give up. It'll probably be the Umbreon. Unless the hand is like broken and has like Ultra Ball away, Dark Energy, Raihan, Attached Double Turbo, Evolve, Choice Belt, knock out the Mew VMAX. And there's no way to move the Genesect. That is not good. That's what I was talking about, putting a third Genesect in play over the two Mews. More draw power on board is better. But yeah, this game is cooked, I think, here for sure. Especially now that Scarlet got a new hand after the last hand was just basically dead. Unless this hand is also dead. Nope, they have an Adventurous Discovery. All right. The question is more so, what does Scarlet want to do? More so than what can they do? And I think what we'll probably see is an Umbreon Gust KO the Mew VMAX that has no energy on it. You can't Umbreon up the Fusion one. Wait, what am I saying? You wouldn't do that. You don't have Umbreon set up yet. I was like, an Umbreon knock it out, but that's not a thing. So what we'll actually probably see is Arceus Choice Belt KO Genesect bench Spiritomb. That's what we'll actually see. Because the other play doesn't make any sense. As long as Spiritomb's in the deck. But we're seeing a Nest Ball come out here and they're not lining up Spiritomb. So I feel like Spiritomb actually might be prized. Otherwise you get Spiritomb with this so you can use the Adventure Discovery to get everything else. Is Spiritomb prized? It looks, I haven't seen it yet. I don't think so. I think it might be. It is prized. Okay. Adventure Discovery is on the way though. And they have another Nest Ball in it. They have double. Oh my gosh. They just have everything. Jeez. Double Dumbreon plus the Arc. Yep. As long as Choice Belt's not prized. But even if Choice Belt was prized, they could get Hawlucha. If they have the other piece in hand, instead of getting Choice Belt off Starbirth, they can get Hawlucha and Hawlucha the bench and then move the damage up with Alakazam. But you would probably rather just go the choice. No, you want to save the Choice Belt for Umbreon, maybe, actually. So actually, you should go the Hawlucha route, actually, here. I think I like the Hawlucha route better, actually. Yeah, because you can save the Choice Belt for the Umbreon, possibly. So yeah, I would like to see... Well, we're assuming Spiritomb's prize, I guess, here, of course. But yeah, I'd like to see the Hawlucha route actually go with Hawlucha over the Choice Belt. Save the Choice Belt for the Umbreon. I don't know if Scarlet sees that line of play and instead is going with the Choice Belt. But yeah, Hawlucha's better here for sure. Unless I'm missing something, you can't Hawlucha. No, you can Hawlucha the bench and then move on up to the active Genesect. Makes sense to go over after the Melodic to not get nuked. To be honest, I kind of like that play. I think you maybe do that play. You also probably should evolve your... You kind of want to evolve your Umbreon anyways to like make it so it can't get boss KO'd. And you can protect your energy a little bit better. Because you could go... You could like load up triple energy on the Umbreon then. We see Scarlet going to load up the Duraludon instead of the Umbreons. Are all the Dark Energy prized? I don't... We want to attack with Umbreon. Yeah, I actually kind of like that play better, to be honest. The KO on Meloetta I actually kind of like. Okay, there we go. One to a number. I just load up both Umbreons here, though. Put a Dark and a Metal on one Umbreon, and then a Dark on another Umbreon. And just have both of them set up. Also, don't get the Choice Belt, get the Hawlucha instead. But actually, I think you're right. We could have just evolved the Umbreon V to the Umbreon V Max, played the switch, KO with a Meloetta. Because I still like keeps our prize trade fine, right? Because KOing Genesect, we need to take 2 knockouts. If we KO Meloetta, we still need to take 2 knockouts. So it's not like our prize trade is any slower. It's still 3 attacks for three knockouts. But now we're looking at our Umbreon getting boss KO'd here. Yeah, removing the I like that. Remove the Meloetta from play. I think you're right. I like it. I like it. And then yeah, we get to save Choice Belt for Umbreon as well potentially. Yeah, we get to save the Choice Belt for the Umbreon to make like a surprise Umbreon, or like be able to use Double Turbo alongside Umbreon, which definitely is better. And just use the Hawlucha here instead. Oh no, don't use. We're KOing the Meloetta. We don't need Hawlucha. We get just +1 card off. Actually, we just get +1 card off Starbirth. Then we just get any 1 card off Starbirth, because we don't have to get the Choice Belt or the Hawlucha off the Starbirth. We actually just get any 1 card we want off Starbirth. I was in the tank right there. Okay, there. And see, this is why we also want to evolve to the Umbreon, because it saves our energy. And there is the Raihan in that hand here for Scarlet, but Scarlet attached 2 energy to Duraludon for some reason instead of the other Umbreon. So even with Raihan, well, unless Scarlet plays Scarlet could play 2 Choice Belt, and with 2 Choice Belt, you can actually get the KO again. I'm just kind of assuming they only play 1 Choice Belt because they have the Halucha and the other stuff, but Halucha combos well with Choice Belt, so maybe they do play 2 Choice Belt. It could also be Scarlet's game plan here to just chase Genesect down, but I feel like you would still want to attack with Arceus here to KO another Genesect, because then you could load up your Umbreon to KO Mew VMAX. I don't like this play, I don't think. Oh, well, I actually honestly forgot about the fact that Duraludon makes it so you can't hit it. I forgot about that part of the Duraludon, to be honest. There's the Raihan to the Umbreon. And now it's getting set up. But I think you'd still rather attack with Arceus here, though, right? Attacking with Arceus seems way better here. I guess Duraludon, I guess it can't hit Duraludon. Maybe that makes it worth it. But once again, you could go after the Meloetta, because now Anthony can go Anthony can go 4th Fusion to Meloetta plus Path, knock out the active, and like Iono you in the same turn or something. So I don't hate Anthony's position here, to be honest. Scarlet's about to go down to 2 prize cards remaining, but needs another Gust on another Genesect to go about it. Yeah, I really don't like the way Scarlet played this game at all, to be honest. There was like a lot of things that could have been done differently. This actually gives I think Anthony basically could not win this game if Scarlet just KO'd Meloetta. But this route that Scarlet has chosen to go, now Anthony can go 4th Fusion Energy. Yeah, Scarlet keeps disrespecting the Fusion Energy, which keeps giving opportunities for Anthony to win the game. But if Scarlet just respected Fusion Energy, Scarlet just wins every time, like auto wins. But now we can see Anthony go 4th Fusion plus Path plus Iono, KO the active, and then next turn go Mew double tablet Choice Belt, KO the Arceus, I guess. Yeah, that would work afterwards, I guess, yeah. Fusion Energy negates Duraludon's ability, right? No. You still need the Path to the Peak. But I'm pretty sure Anthony still has their Path, so. The hand is really big as well, but to be honest, Anthony's hand sucks. Anthony's hand keeps sucking. Other way around, Dura cancels Fusion. Dura doesn't cancel Fusion. Dura just can't be hit by Pokemon that have special energy on them. And all of the Mew Pokemon have special energy. Wait, did the Vacuum go to the Choice Band last turn? No, it went to Lost City, but it should have gone to the Choice Belt last turn. I didn't realize that, but it should have, yeah. 4 Fusion can one-shot a Dura. No, you need 4 Fusion. Oh, I guess you would still need 2 modifiers, to be honest. So then you don't have enough modifiers to KO the Arceus at that point. But you could 2-hit KO with Mew VMAXs. So yeah, 4. You still need the modifiers. Yeah, you still need the modifiers. I don't think it's possible right now, though. I'm actually curious as to what Anthony's going to do. I think Anthony's going to try and boss KO the Umbreon. Yeah, I think Anthony's going to try and boss KO Umbreon with Mew V Max. And then hope that Scarlet doesn't have a boss of their own. And maybe try and find Path as well, so you shut down the possibility of Lumineon. That'd be good as well. I'm pretty sure Scarlet does play Lumineon. I'm pretty sure I saw it in there. So yeah, there's the boss. Brings up the Umbreon. Oh no. Oh, we're copying Ice Cube? All right, we're getting cheesy. All right, Anthony going the hella cheese route is going to use Mew to copy Ice Cube to start sniping. Okay. We're currently doing 120 damage. It's not very much. I was like, I saw this, I was like, what the heck is going on? I think Anthony could have won this by going to KO Umbreon this turn, though. I don't think that's like too far off. Oh, no, wait, you can't KO Umbreon this turn. Anthony already attached a double turbo for a turn. Never mind. Anthony can't KO Umbreon this turn. We already attached for a turn, so you can't attach twice during your turn, believe it or not. This is such a long way from winning the game, though. Like, Anthony needs to attack like 3 or 4 turns in a row here to even get close to getting back into the game. Yeah, this like takes way too long. I think this line is gonna take too long. Should also play the Trek and Choose first. I don't know what the Anthony keeps sequencing the Trek and Choose really weird. Like, you should just play it. If you get a bad card, you discard it, and then maybe you get a card that's playable. Or if you get a good card that's playable, you can also play that. But instead, Anthony keeps like just holding the Trekking Shoes and being like, then drawing with Genesect. But then if you just get the dead card that could have been thinned out or a good card that you could have put in play, like, doesn't make any sense. Oh, top deck double turbo. No boss here though from Scarlet. You appreciate the 31 months there, Grover. This looks like they're gonna thin out the deck here. Does not have a boss yet, but we'll be able to just retreat and punch with Arceus again. Doesn't actually get anything off the nest balls, but definitely should have grabbed something. It definitely should have grabbed something, because you may as well thin out the deck by like a card or two. Yeah, they should have put like the Dura V in play or something. Like losing my mind. I was about to say I should have attached a dark energy as well, but they literally just attach an energy. I don't know why they didn't thin out the Dura V. That didn't make any sense. You have 2 bench spaces to work with, so you still have room for Luminion even if you bench 1 Pokemon. Maybe it kind of plays around Echoing Horn, but if you get Echoing Horned and they don't take a knockout to open up a bench space for you, you're winning the game anyways. See, I don't. Scarlet should like thin out. Well, but I guess it could be. No, it's another Pokemon that gets trapped in the active, but Dura V has the exact same retreat cost as Alakazam, and you can actually load up energy on the Dura V to make it mobile. So like, yeah, it makes no sense to not do it, I guess. All right, what is Anthony's route to victory here? Okay, we now still have Quad Fusion Energy in play. Oh, we take that. Put it on the Meloetta. Meloetta KOs Arceus. So if we can find Path in Iono here for Anthony, Anthony still has a route into this game, to be honest. Once again, the disrespect from the Fusion Energy is giving Anthony a possibility to victory here. We just need to find Iono and Path to the Peak. There's Path. Iono's a higher priority here, though. I think you do discard that. You have to disrupt the hand of Scarlet here. Path without Iono doesn't do anything because the hand for Scarlet has like a million cards. There's a good chance there's a boss in the hand here for Scarlet. Maybe there isn't and there's just an out. Like you could play as if there's just an out to the Luminion maybe. There's a switch, 4 cards left. I don't know if Anthony actually even has an Iono left, to be honest. I don't actually even know. There might not be. And if there's not, then you're definitely in a bad spot. And it looks like Anthony is giving up on drawing any more cards because could have played the switch and drawn 1 with Genesect there, I believe. He has a 6-card hand, so could have played the switch, played the tablet, and drawn 2 actually even. Which I would like to see them dig for an Iono. There might not be one left though. There might be out of Ionos here. I thought they had one left. Could be wrong though. Okay, here comes the Genesect draw. Now they can't burn the switch. Definitely a miss sequence here. Yeah, so they could have burned the switch as well. You lose to boss anyway, so it's not like you're gonna get boss stalled and would need the switch. Tails. Another Genesect. Is there an Iono? There was a Palpad. So if we'd been able to draw a little bit more aggressively, we could have Palpaded back. Oh, they're going for boss. Yeah, they're going for double boss because they plan to attack with Meloetta this turn and the next turn boss up the Umbreon and win that way. But we know there's a... They were shuffling their discard pile. We know that Scarlet has one, but we could have got an Iono and a boss back, and Iono this turn and boss next turn. So yeah, and this actually goes back to like that Trekking Shoes even on the last turn from Anthony. If Anthony just saw a couple cards deeper, we definitely could have pulled that play off. Yeah. I mean, this whole set, there's been some pretty bad sequencing from Anthony, to be honest. For Scarlet, there hasn't really been that bad. I mean, it's really hard to like... You can't really mess up... To be honest, you can't really mess up sequencing in Arceus too much. You just mess up with game plans. Like, yeah, there's no sequencing to really mess up in Arceus, to be honest. I didn't really ever think about that before, but now that I'm thinking about that, yeah, you can't really mess up sequencing in Arceus. You just mess up game plans. And there's definitely some bad game plan choices. There's a lot of bad game plan choices from Scarlet. Anthony... I think had good game plan choices for the most part, but the sequencing was pretty poor.